All right, what is up, nerds? Welcome back to another episode of the Aggressively Average Angler podcast. We are live and we are talking about, actually, not talking about, we are reviewing all the kayaks that we owned slash used. I think we're going with possessed this year. So these are not kayaks that we just tested for an hour or two. These are all kayaks that we owned, maybe rigged, maybe
titled under our names.
Maybe definitely titled a few of these, not all of them, but got the titles that we could do a motor on that and like legally operated on said bodies of water.
Or illegally. Oh, nobody said that.
Nope, that never happened. For real, it never happened. Yeah, so we've used these kayaks like a lot though. Like none of these are going to be limited use. It's not a couple hours, it's many, many hours. So we feel at this point that we can do a year in review of kayaks. With these ones at least. So there's 9 of them. 9 kayaks. We used a lot of kayaks this year, Paul.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. A weird year for us because we've been trying to get to that point for a long time and we were able to do it this year. So that was cool. So here we are. We've got the Native Titan X, the NuCanoe Unlimited, the NuCanoe U10, the Crescent Shoalie, the Crescent LT2, the Old Town PDL 106, the Old Town Big Water, not the pedal one, the regular one, the basic one. Then we got the Isle Fly Water for inflatables and the Wilderness Systems iAttack also for inflatables. So we got a whole bunch of stuff to review tonight. We're going to use our new system for reviewing that we're trying to start building up our library of reviews for, so we can do a website and do all this other stuff where you guys can have a one-stop shop for reviews that are unbiased on everything that exists in fishing. That's the end goal. Right now there are 0 done. Wait, no, we did motors. We got motors done. Now we're going to have kayaks. Our goal is to do a couple more like year in review podcast / videos on like rods, reels, maybe tackle, stuff like that, and gear especially, and get these reviews racked up. And then we can do some videos on them and then we can make the website. So that's the process. That's where we're at tonight. 9 reviews will be going down, and some people will be mad. Some people will be happy, and
maybe we'll have some tiebreaker votes. If it comes down to we can't figure it out, maybe we'll let you guys
the swing score. We got a AAA swing score coming in. All right, well, let's get into it because we got a lot of reviewing to do tonight. So let's start with the Q of the D. Actually, no, real quick, members, I'll see you guys, and Paul will maybe see you guys. No, we will see you guys on Tuesday, December 10th. Members only live, Tuesday, December 10th, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Love to see you there.
For you with no calendar in front of you.
Is that me?
Somebody.
It's probably everybody.
You don't walk around like in that weird, like where you go from single digits to double digits. It seems to happen really fast. Where it's the like 3rd, and then next week's the 18th, and you're like, no. And then you look at it and you're like, how?
Yeah, missing a week. It disappeared somewhere along the way. So we'll be next Tuesday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Again, we like to do some giveaways on our lives for our members. That's something that we do to give back to you guys. Lots of fun. So if you want to be a part of that, click join below. You learn more. And we do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So things we can talk about there that we don't really talk about here. There's a lot.
Like this. You already would have known this was coming.
Yeah, you already probably know the score of most of these and which ones are good and bad. Let's start with the Q of the D. So, question of the day: will we get to ice fish this year?
Will we get to ice fish? You know what?
Maybe.
My bet. No, we have to. My thing was it's like an over under. You got to say.
I say yes.
Your claim is it yes? You say yes.
I say yes. We will.
We are.
How many days?
Ice. We're cooking some ice this week. Let's do this. Over under. We go ice fishing 3 times, more or less. The line is 3.
3 is
tough.
I'm going to say under would be the safer bet, I feel, based on previous
Definitely
years.
The safer bet. I would say
right? It could be
already. It's already December 4th. We have been under 20 degrees, maybe 10 hours total. I say.
Yeah.
No.
You say we're not going at all?
I think we're going. It's under.
I'm gonna vote. We're getting out twice. That's
I think 2 times. I think
going
2 times.
for it.
Tough,
2 times.
Man. It's tough.
Compared to recent years, 2 times would be amazing though. right? Like,
You know,
when's the
two
last?
times, and that would be 2 times in 3 years.
It has been. Yeah. I think I went out once in the past 2 years, and it was for 2.5 hours, and then I felt very unsafe, and then I went home.
Yeah, I
I was
walked on
like,
the ice with my son,
not a good
5 feet
idea.
from shore and 2 feet of water, and was like, "Yeah, we're leaving." And then the next day, all that ice was gone. So poo-poo. All right, I do have another thing though. There's like a weird, there's a weird. I think it's weird.
Yeah.
It's something I noticed. Every like fishing brand right now is like really pushing this concept of like, if you don't fish when it's -60 out all the way to the end of the year, you are
You're
weak.
not a real
Like
angler.
I'm like, whoa, what is
Yeah.
that? Where is this coming from? Like, we're
Tell
so hardcore. We only fish when it's frigid and miserable because we're the
Yeah.
coolest. It's like a very weird trend right now. It's like a fish. It's like an arc. It's like the winter arc of
I think
fishermen.
my favorite trend right now that people are saying is like, tell me you don't fish without telling me you don't fish, or tell me you're not a fisherman without telling me you're not a fisherman. And I'm
Is
like,
that happening?
yeah, that's just like a common negative comment, just like a shysty
Oh,
little thing to say
yeah, a
that
little
people
dig.
to do. Yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't like
guess you
that.
don't know. We got a comment today that was on your video about the kayak batteries.
Okay.
And it was, you were talking about the Dakota Lithium 54 amp hour battery, and you're
Yeah.
like, and then I've got these NuCanoes, which are way smaller, super lightweight, and you can
Yeah.
chain them up to 40 amp hours if you want. And that's plenty for me for my fish finder. And this guy
Yeah.
goes, tell me you haven't spent enough time on the water without telling me you haven't spent enough time on the water.
Savage.
He goes, just get 100 amp. Anything less than that is a headache. And I go, we are powering a fish finder.
What?
Why? Like,
What?
how many days without charging do you need
Tell
to
me you
go?
don't know what an amp hour is without telling me you don't know what?
I just said you don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, moving on.
my friend in Christ, you're in trouble. you are overbuilt. All right, cool. Well, I just I thought the whole theme of like this the last month has been like people just very aggressively like, "Oh, I fish when it's cold, and I'm the best." I'm like,
dude,
good for you, man.
if,
Great
if
job.
the fishing is extremely unproductive, our time is already too constrained. I'm not doing it.
I don't have it.
I took apart all my combos today. So all the rods and reels are inside. All the kayak electronics are inside. I should probably bring the motors in too. It's not a huge deal, but I will. So everything will be inside, stored up for the winter, which is like the official end. It's over. It's over until March. Yeah. I'll go out early. I'll go out early in the spring. I always do. I get antsy around February. I'm like, I'm going fishing. So I don't know.
We do have some projects to do too. We'll talk about that on the members only. But there's a big project in store, an installation.
It's in my basement.
Mounting that will have to happen.
I have it. I already opened it and broke it twice.
Oh, great! That makes a lot of sense. Took all my money and just thrashed it. This is neat. All right, so that's a little bit of a teaser though. There is a big installation coming. We'll walk through the details on that and some videos associated with it. Very intentional videos. That will be coming up on the December 10th, Tuesday, December 10th, members only, 8:15 p.m. Eastern, along with the schmivs and everything else that goes with it. And no poo-pooing you for not fishing when it's -6 out. All right. Let's get into the meat of the show meat, and we are going to start with the Native Titan X. So, if you haven't seen, do you want to share the screen? How do you want to do this? I kind of want to. Can we show the people the ratings? All right,
I'm gonna pull up the kayak specs. I think would be better. Just do the images, and then
all right, we are going to
in there.
Yeah, we're just gonna show you the yaks that we're talking about. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see this, but we'll walk you through it. And what we're going to do is we have 5 different categories with a score of 1 to 5 for each one. First thing we do is we talk about the total cost. So that's just like right off the bat, we just list the total cost of the item. Then we're going to talk about design. That would include things like innovation, and just the overall quality of the design itself, right? So how is in an instance of a kayak, how is it laid out? How does the whole design work? Et cetera, et cetera. Next, we're going to talk about, so you get 1 to 5 on that one. Next up, you'll get user experience. So this is just like everything from like customer service to like how easy it is to use to how readily available something is. It's like it's a very big catch-all, but it lends itself to like, does it go on sale, stuff like that. Next up would be performance. So like, does it work the way that it's supposed to? How well does it work? Is it better than everything else? Is it as intended? Does it work as the design was intended? Next up would be quality. This would include a very critical category: durability. How long is it going to last? How well is it made, et cetera, et cetera. Next and lastly, you're going to hit value. So like, what do you get for the money? Like per dollar, is this a value or not? All of those will get added up to a total score, and that would be out of a total score. So you get not only a percentage, but you get an idea of like, you can rank all these and just look at that overall score and say, okay, overall, how does this compare to the Titan X versus the NuCanoe Unlimited to, say, the Isle Flywater? So we'll go through all of those. We'll try and be as brief as possible. We're going to do our best. We'll do our absolute best.
All right, so let's dive in, shall we? We got the Native Titan X, which is, I believe, the most expensive kayak on the list today.
It is.
By far. Like, not close.
Well, it should be called out that the two most expensive kayaks also come with pedals. So when you buy these kayaks, you are not, and this would include the Old Town PDL 106, you are getting a pedal drive system. That automatically puts you like $1,000 more. They're $1,000 to replace. So I'm just calling that out.
Actually, they're not. They're $799 from Native. The Old Town is $1295 on eBay.
I believe that.
Which is, I mean, it floats. I'll give them that, but it is,
and it has the console attached to it.
Because I just edited our video where we were talking about the Native Slayer LTE, and we were talking about the Native drive versus the Old Town drive. It's nuts. Like, the difference is pretty nuts. But $799. You can buy the newest Native drive in a box.
But you are, that's a significant chunk of change that you're adding to the kayak. So, it should be said that for the Titan X and the Old Town, they are coming with their own drive, so you don't have to have a motor, and you're not stuck paddling when you first get out of the box. So just want to call that out.
There it is. There's a chartreuse warrior right there. Oh boy. Oh yeah. All right. So Native Titan X. I think this top-down view kind of helps establish what we're talking about here first. So first category we're looking at is design and innovation, and especially with the get out of here pop-up, the Native Slayer LTE coming out as well got me looking back at Natives and then comparing it to, we did a video that's dropping for you guys next Monday where we compare it to the Old Town PDL 106 because they're in that same category: lightweight, throw and go, 10 foot to 10.5 foot kayak. Not this one. This is the opposite of that. But like, you could see the differences innovation wise from like what Old Town was doing versus what Native was doing. And like, totally aside from a floating like drive, the Old Town floating drive, first of all, why isn't everybody else doing that? Second of all, though,
well, it's $300 more, $400 more. So
I mean, granted, but at the same time,
I agree.
Aside from that, looking at both boats, like the Native was just like innovator, and like the things they were doing were more modern in design
at the
which
time,
is really nice.
And this is where I think we have to be really careful. We have to be really
the Old Town's not updated, but
yeah, the Old Town's an older kayak. It's like 5 years, 6 years old at this point.
No excuses. Make one.
Yeah, at the time it was very like having the pop up storage, unheard of. Having like even the 4-point bolt pattern at the back, unheard of. It just wasn't a lot.
Interesting thing about that is that the PDL 106 comes in two versions: one with the 4-bolt pattern, one without.
I know,
that's wild. And I think that the other one is just old. It just has a handle. It's like the original, and then they added the 4-bolt pattern, although it is offset. Anyways, we're not talking about that kayak yet. We talk about it later. If you're looking at the Native Titan X though right now on the screen, and I can even I guess I don't have to do
zoom in
that. There you go. So we can zoom in a bit on this kayak and you guys can see what we're talking about. Or did I zoom in? Oh my gosh, fit it all on screen. There we go. Okay. So when you're looking at this though, a big thing that I think that Native and some other brands are doing really well right now is they're creating with building out your kayak or rigging your kayak in mind, which I love, because as much as I love my plastic vessel I can throw on the water and just get out there day one of ownership and use, I want to build the crap out of these things. I want to add stuff to it, and I don't want
your
that
way.
To be
you want to do it your way, not Hobie's way, not pay an extra $50 per accessory from Hobie's website. You want to do it your way.
Exactly. So like I want to be able to do that. I want rigging in mind, and I want it to be easy. I don't want it to be difficult. But when you look at this kayak, like you've got multiple bolt patterns. If you haven't seen, people can put 2 power poles and a motor on this dang thing, which is absurd. And we're not here to talk about just buy a bass boat tonight. We're just looking at kayaks. But there's a lot of mounting options on the back. They have, I believe, 4 power link plates. There's one here. There's 2 under the seat on either side, like right there, which is perfect. There's a battery box here. There's a power link plate up front. This hatch has a molded in battery spot for it with a cable channel, which is nuts. It comes out the hatch.
Such a small thing.
You don't have to drill through the boat. You don't have to run anything through there. And there's a removable bin also up under this hatch that you can drill through if you want to, instead of drilling through the boat. So like there's so many things like that are just amazing. And I hadn't seen them on kayaks before this one. So design and innovation, like I don't see how I can't give this a 5. Especially it's still relevant today.
Yeah, there's a couple things here. 1, super heavy. 2, I personally do not like the handles at all. 3, the scupper water hole thing is definitely a problem. So I don't know that it's perfect.
I don't think those fall under design for me right now. Like I feel where
would they fall?
They're going to be, I mean, the wet feed is going to be user experience, is it not? Or
yeah, I put that under design because especially because they already knew about it. Like they already knew that was an issue, and it's part of the design of the kayak. Like it is it's a natural part. Like that is, I think that falls firmly into design. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
What falls under performance then? It getting wet. I think the design idea is high quality, that they do.
Sure.
I know what they want to do with this, because they want the lower cockpit. Like they want it lower to the water.
And the thin gunnel.
Which is how this boat is so stable. Like that's part of the challenge I have. I could see knocking at 1 and going to like 4 out of 5. There's no way I go below that. There's too many innovations on this boat. It's insane.
Yeah.
The weight is an interesting one, because then you look at the Bonafide XTR. I do feel like they gotta get this dialed where we can find a way to get these a little bit less than 175 empty. Like
that's
it's a very heavy kayak, very heavy. But yeah, I will knock it 1 point for the water coming in. It's like a pro and a con.
I'm fine hitting that in performance. It's just got to be accounted for somewhere.
I planned on it. I wasn't actually sure where we should put it, so that is something I was curious about.
The seat too is the seat is like in some ways very good, and in some ways, like when I look at the Vantage Pro seat, like that is the epitome of a seat. If you had the spinning Vantage Pro, I feel like that would be like
that's a boat.
I know,
seat.
but you see what I'm saying? Like that's peak best in class design.
Like Newport just did that with their raft, right? Like the new one has the boat seat that swivels.
Yeah.
I think it's the only way to do it. I would never knock this seat. There's nothing wrong with this seat.
It's very comfortable. Opinion. It's simple.
It's simple. It's not the Vantage Pro. Like I get it. That's also like a 6 out of 5. Let's be real. This is a perfectly good seat.
I don't see
anything wrong with it. In fact, the part of that 1 point knock I'm going to give it on design, I'll agree with you there, is when you turn this cup holder.
Yeah.
This cup holder is really poorly placed.
It's such a small thing.
I'll give you that. So there's that. The lower cockpit is good for stability. That's the pro, but the con is that because you're closer to the water easily comes in through the scupper holes. Yes. But on the flip side, you've got riggability is out the wazoo. It's insane. The battery box is pretty clutch, although placement wise could be better, because this hatch, if you put wheels on this thing, and you must put wheels on this thing, it has to go over the battery hatch.
That was one of my calls too.
That's one of the knocks I would give it for sure. And then other than that, like, so water coming in, battery hatch placement, the swivel seat cup holder is a problem. The handles are not great. What else? Yeah.
I was gonna maybe gripe about the fact that you need a plate for the front.
Every kayak you need a plate.
But every kayak, well, not everyone, because the new Wilderness Systems doesn't. But yeah, that's the only one. So
that's because it's the first kayak of its kind to be pre-rigged. If we can get our hands on that, I would love to review that next year. But
totally agree.
I would assume it's going to be good. Like it's so that is cool. But other than that, like every single other kayak, you have to add a plate to bow mount because you have to reinforce. It's not built to
I'm just being
take all that
nitpicky
torque.
because it's a 5. We're giving it a 5. I think, you know what? If we give it a 5, as long as we knock it for some of those other things elsewhere, I'm good with it. I don't think there's a lot of flaws in the design. There's not a lot of things when I'm in it where I'm like, gosh, I really don't like that. Like, that was a miss. Like, they like, everything is usable. Like, I like that. I really like that it has the rod storage. That was such a huge pro for the Hobie Pro Angler.
Even though I took mine out, but
I know you don't use them, but like
it
the
is
fact
cool
that
you have it. Yeah,
that was an upgrade from the prior models. So I do think that there's a lot to love here. So I'm
so
fine.
What Paul's saying there, there's rod tubes right here, you guys, near the front of the cockpit. It holds 4, which is what this smaller Pro Angler does. The 14-foot Pro Angler holds 6.
Bang.
And it like the Hobie Pro Angler holds it better though. I'll give you that.
No question. Well,
this one does not hold 4 very well.
I think the innovation score on if there was a score just for innovation, the Hobie would get a monster score. And then this would also, though, I think there's a lot to love here. And although I think it was executed as intended. I think that's overall is good. They were good ideas here.
I think they crushed it. Also at the front, part of why the bow mount plate is not an issue on this one. There's so many like pre-tapped brass insert mounting versus like a lot of other kayaks, you have to just figure it out yourself, or they have 2 bolts. This thing is massively over reinforced. Anyways, Feather Outdoors says, here's a tip for you guys. Appreciate the super. I didn't even notice this super chat for $5. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate y'all for providing us with these reviews. Thanks, fellas. Hey, man. Feather, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the show.
Last thing I'll say on design before we grace it with a 5, it does have a really open rear storage area.
It's huge.
It was very intentional. You could see how they really made sure that it remained open. You got to give kudos for that as well. And the battery box is a nice access point. So got to give them props for that too. That's something that not a lot of kayaks can handle, especially at that weight class. So yeah, and then you do get built-in rod holders, which again, not really something that shows up on a lot of kayaks these days, like expensive ones. So yeah, I think that I'm fine giving it a 5. There's some bugaboos, nothing major, but it'll pop up later, so I'm good with it.
A few things that I would love to see improved overall, but there you go. Design innovation. I think they crushed it out of the park on this thing. Okay, so going on to user experience. This is probably where like the weight is I was thinking the weight comes in because part of the user experience is loading and unloading your kayak, right?
Yeah, for the kayak, 100%.
So the user experience on this, off the water, getting on the water.
I mean, you do have to buy wheels, so all of a sudden you're like, heavy. Golly, but it did come with pedals, so like I can't go to a 3 because it did come with the pedal drive, right?
The use on the water is actually this is a little hippopotamus ballerina from Fantasia. Like this thing can, it has a pretty tight turn radius.
It's faster than you'd think.
It's a lot faster than you would think. You can throw a motor on here. You're not sacrificing a lot of speed. You are sacrificing speed, like no doubt. It's still big. It's still not as fast, but I can get that up with the XI3 bow mount. I mean, I was going 3.5 on
and you can have
current maybe 3.8,
and you can have 2 batteries, no problem. Like that's not an issue. It accepts captain's bridges very well. I think the user experience, the
stability goes in here, right?
The rigging, I think that's performance. The rigging was really easy. So like adding stuff, like we were talking about earlier, adding the motors, very easy. It's got the 4-bolt pattern in the back. So I think like rigging it out, very simple. Pedaling, it is fast. It's very maneuverable. Getting into the water kind of sucks because it's heavier than heck. And then
that's
you
really
do have to add the wheels. Like that's kind of a must, or a trailer. So that
those
also,
are the biggest
think, to me, gets you to the 4.
I would say those are the biggest things. I would say rigging. This is I had one of the best times rigging a kayak with this kayak right here. I said it in the video we're dropping on Monday too. It's just like at this point, Paul, we've rigged together like 15 kayaks,
something like that. Yeah,
14, 15. Like we're by no means experts at this thing, but we are certainly not beginners.
We fumbled our way through a lot of stuff.
We've done a lot of. I've been pretty proud of a lot of our builds. You know, and I can
find
say,
something cool every time. We got a hack for everything.
Yeah, the easiest kayak I ever rigged was the Hobie Pro Angler, and it's mostly because a lot of people make things for the Hobie Pro Angler. So there was like a mounting plate that would go inside the front in the bow hatch, like for your electronics. I had to make one for this one, but like that was the hardest thing.
That is the pass-through system in the Hobie is still goated.
They're included with it. It's just there, ready to go. Yeah. So that's great. So aside from that, though, this is just a slight step below that. And most of it was because nobody was making anything for the Native Titan X at the time. So like to find something, I had to make it myself. And now they actually have a new plate for this thing. So there's a to go into the bow cargo hatch for your electronics. They have a plate that you can mount things to. So I made one. I took our old Hobie one that I still had and I just shaved the edges and popped it in there.
I would go 4. Easy to rig.
I think so.
Lots of options. The weight is a problem and the size is a problem. Yeah. But once you're in the water, you're good. So I give that a 4. It's a very high score. I mean, it's a very and stuff is available for it, and there's a lot of cheap stuff you can use. You don't have to use expensive stuff, and it comes with the pedals. You already paid the price of entry, so you don't need anything else. So I think user experience actually pretty high here. And I haven't heard anything bad about native customer service. Nothing like that. So
I haven't had to use it much. So I
just haven't heard anybody be like they're the worst. Nothing like that.
Certainly not shouting it from the mountaintops. No. All right. Going to performance. I think we talked a little bit about stability. This is one of the most stable kayaks. It's equal to the Hobie Pro Angler. Like this is stable. It's as stable. In some circumstances, more stable, which is like wild to say. And it's mainly because of how low that cockpit sits to the water. It's so low. It's as stable as you can be. So it is extremely stable. It's fairly quick. Performance fishing wise, like it's fishing out of this thing is like a dream.
Very fishable.
You got the swivel seat there.
Water in is a problem.
Water coming in is a problem. So no matter what, I don't care what hack you do. There's so many hacks out there for scupper options for the native kayaks. It doesn't work. Like I've done them all. I promise you, I've done the hacks. I've bought these expensive ones that I'm using now. They work 65% of
when they're perfectly clean.
Yes. So you got to have scupper valves if you want to keep it dry. You can throw the plugs in there. I don't know how people do it without having anything kicking back in. There's a reason there's a million videos on hacks for this thing because it doesn't unfortunately perform as needed with dryness. Now, that's not the end of the world, so I'm not going to knock it a ton for that because a lot of the other performance qualities make up for it. I will say that it is a little bit slower than a lot of other kayaks because it's big, right? Yeah. Part of the performance deal you got to think about is like, yes, it's major stable. It's, it's just a little bit slower.
You get a trade-off. There's a trade-off. The other thing too, I mean, we talked about the battery box location, the way it works.
Not amazing.
Yeah, not phenomenal. And then this very small thing, but you get the cup holder deal. I also like there's no like included other than the very front hatch. There's not like that. I love having the Hobie center console, like the Old Town center console, like that little flip storage. It's one of the things that always was like, man, if it had one of those like in a pocket on the side or something, what a huge deal. Though. Yeah, like it does. The tray is sick. Underneath, the tray is sick. The tray is sick. Yeah.
The drawer underneath the seat, I think, makes up for that. You got the side pockets. Part of a performance thing, I'll tell you guys on the side pockets, that's an issue, is that there's a little lip.
Yeah.
Right here. Maybe you can see. And
not here.
Not so much here, but here. So these pockets, they will hold a 3600 size box. They'll hold a bunch of plastics. This lip is a problem, like, because if you want to put anything that's shorter than this into there, because there's just a track bar that goes across the top that serves as your like holder.
Hold it here.
Anything lower than that just falls into your main cockpit all the time. So that doesn't do great. The drive will get creaky. You got to grease it. You got to take care of it.
That was going to be the only gripe that was. I thought to me it was a bit kind of big, but not huge. But
we're talking metal gears on the water. Like it's going to get creaky. Yep. That's how mechanics work. So you do have to grease it.
I give it a 4. There's nothing detrimental. Is it perfect? No. There's trade-offs, but it's very good.
There's a few things like I wish I could talk to the designers and for them to have the budget and time to do this, but there's some things that could make this kayak perfect. It's close.
But yeah, and this could go into the design or the performance. We're putting in performance. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. I think the durability and quality on the kayak is probably, I mean, I don't want a 5 to be, I don't want a 5 to be like an easy score to achieve. So I really want to watch that.
Let's think about how many things are broken.
But it's very good. It's so good.
The biggest knock on these native kayaks that I haven't experienced, but I should just call out because other people have, is the Switchblade rudder controller being plastic is an issue. They actually sell a $200 replacement that's metal, and that's whack, folks. Brutal. So I get it. Some people have had that experience. I feel for them because I had the Hobie 360 issue, and some people don't have issues with their Hobie 360. So like, it's painful when it happens to you. So I think if anything, you got to give it quality wise. There's a little bit of a knock on that plastic rudder handle. Could be better, and I'd say the same about a lot of the other kayaks that we've used too. But
and
that that's something that bothers me.
I know you love the drive. I know you love the drive. The drive for me is very good, better than
I haven't
average.
had any issues with it.
I know you haven't. I just
some people have.
I put that at the 4, not the 5.
Sure.
Like I would put the Hobie at the 3.
When it gets creaky, it definitely bothers
it just
me.
doesn't feel good. So I put it at a 4. Maybe.
I haven't. Yeah, I think 4 is fair. I haven't broken like anything else on this kayak, which is
solid. It is
pretty
in
damn
general
wild.
solid. Yeah, not an issue. I've
been mean to it. I've been very mean to it.
No question.
I've used this
4 or 5.
4 is good. I've put this through hell this year. This has gotten my most use. Anyways,
we're trying to be fair. Like 5 should be in general. 5 should be hard to achieve. Perfect. 1 should be hard to achieve. 1 should be like absolutely do not buy, do not consider. 2
exploded
should be,
when we looked at it.
2 should be like buy with caution. 3 should be pretty solid. 4 should be very good, and 5 should be outstanding. Which I think this is kind of what where we're at here. Value wise, what do you think? This one's tough.
Value, you got to knock it for the price. It is really expensive, even for a pedal kayak. It ranks up there at Hobie-esque costs. You know,
it's top tier.
So it is tough to say that. I do think that you get a lot of kayak for that money. It's similar to how I would look at like a Hobie Outback, which is the exact same price.
I know.
But this is like a beefier version. So
the Hobie Outback, like
it's not meant to be this. I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got you.
You get a lot of things with the Hobie Outback for $36.99.
My gut says 4. My gut says 4.
I think it's a 4, and I think some people will disagree, but at the same time,
I think some people would say 3. I think some people look at that price tag and say 3.
I feel like the audience might be split on this between a 3 and a 4 on it.
Should we let them vote?
We can let them vote. Why don't you guys decide? Is this going to be a 3 or a 4? We don't do half points in this.
There's a lot, and it's I wonder
value.
I wonder if it's the difference between
yeah,
truly getting a value or if it's just priced probably correctly, but you're getting a ton. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily value. It just means it's not overpriced.
Right. So I just think of value as like, what do you get for what you pay? And I can totally see this as a line in the sand for a lot of people where this is like, I'm not going above that. Yes, you get a lot of bells and whistles and they're thinking, do I need them? And is it going to be worth it? So I feel how that could be a 3. I personally feel it's a 4.
Probably.
But I am totally okay with you guys disagreeing with me. Every so often, like, you help us decide on this stuff. I think it helps to get community feedback.
We're a little bit jaded. We've been on the higher end of kayak pricing in general for a little bit longer.
We accept it.
It's like a built-in cost. So like when I see 3,600, I'm like, or 3,700, like very expensive kayak for sure. I know I'm getting a good kayak though. And I know that the thing that gets me, it is on the list, by the way, the Unlimited is coming up. What I look at is if I added a pedal drive or a motor, if I added some of the features that it already came with, would I leave with a more expensive kayak? Like if I bought the LT2, like if I buy the LT2 when I add all the other stuff in, am I now more than 3,700? Which I don't think you are.
Sure. Yeah. So, all right. Well, chat's saying a 3. I think we kind of leaned on a 3. It's 59% to 41%.
That's so close.
It's close, but it's a margin, man. So
yeah,
I'll give you guys the 3, and I'm going with it just because, again, it's if you think Hobie, every time I think Hobie price range, it's like an automatic 3. Like,
I agree.
I better get a bunch of stuff, which you do.
You do,
but it's a 3. It's so expensive.
It's a nice.
Okay,
boat, though.
So we gotta move faster.
Yeah,
we took
way
too much time on this one, but
here's
the
big
final
one, though.
score. Here's the final score. We end up with essentially 20 out of 25. We got an 80%, right? A couple knock points here on the Native Titan X, but you end up with 80% overall ranking, 20 out of 25. You got to keep in mind, like, we'll put some notes down on these things, especially when we get to putting this on the website. We don't want it to be like, oh, it's 80%. Go for it. Figure it out for yourself. We'll put some notes on like how we ended up there when we write this up. And overall, it's just there's a few things on this that they could be better, and the overall price is insanely high. So you got to knock it on a few things. 20 out of 25 ain't too bad. 80%. And I see you making that new row. Thank you for that. All right. So moving on, I'm going to pull up another kayak. We're going to go to the NuCanoe Unlimited. And unfortunately, the purple color was a limited edition, but now there's like this pink and black on Eco Fishing Shop that I saw today.
No way.
Yeah, dude. That's
kind of dope.
So you just got to watch for limited colors. NuCanoe does it. Crescent does it as well. Both companies.
Crescent's ink color, that dark purple, is rad.
God, it is. They had the Primo came out in a purple to pink.
Oh yeah,
kind of shifted color. That was cool. Anyways, all right. So we're looking at the NuCanoe Unlimited, not the U10, but the Unlimited. Let's start with design. We're gonna go a little bit faster on this one, I think. Here you go. Here's more specs so you guys can see this. If you're familiar with NuCanoe, it's like unlimited options, right? You can do whatever you want with this thing. It starts out as a blank canvas. There's pros and cons to that because it's a blank canvas, you have to buy everything. And that said, like, you can do whatever you want. You're not limited based on like, oh, well, the bow hatch is in my way, so I can't do anything. You don't have a bow hatch. There's nothing up there. So you can do anything you want. But if we're talking design and innovation, I feel like if you look at this as a paddle kayak, you can't say it's insanely innovative. Once you get into, hang on, I got more. Oh, you're agreeing? Yeah. So if you look at it as just a paddle kayak, right? Like not innovative. But then if you look a little bit deeper into like their wire pass-through channels, the amount of track that is on this boat is asinine and should be illegal in 4 states. Like there is so much track on this thing. You can mount anything you want anywhere. These 2 front tracks, amazing. Lots of opportunities for like captain's bridge, council, whatever you want up there. Fish finders off to the side. The gear pod mounts to that. Here's where it gets interesting, Paul. Like, how do we rank design and innovation for the quick connect system and like the gear pod?
It's like all the accessories that it's meant to go with. Like I think it does, because they're
the accessories boost it,
but it also increases the value. Like the design is so good, it drives the value. Like they're like, no, if you don't want the front hatch, you don't have to pay for it, or you can pay for it later. Quick connect, it's sick. You don't have the motor, you're gonna paddle it this year, not a big deal. Oh, you wanted pedals instead of this? Okay, we have an option for you. Like to me, I think design, especially when you consider innovation in the mix, I probably would have given it a 4. And then now, after having used it, I probably give it the nudge to the 5. There are some things that really bug me that I don't like that still bug me. But like, it's still so good.
I think they'll get their knocks in like performance and stuff.
I think user experience, like that's to me, it's gonna get a little bit of a hit for some of the stuff, but like it's still, the design is really good.
It will get its knocks in a few moments because there's a few things.
There's a couple just like the Native.
Distaste for.
Nothing perfect. I'm probably giving it the 5. I think when you consider the innovation and the fact that you get all these really cool accessories and they're very well designed, they're a little expensive, but they're very well designed. The cost of entry is so low. That's driven by design. I give it the 5.
I would go 4 on here.
You go 4?
Yeah, I'm going to be the pessimist on it. And the reason, we'll see if you agree with me. Like, part of the reason is I feel like similar to another company we joke about that comes up later on this,
Yeah.
like where Wilderness Systems always makes 7 out of 10s. Like I feel like NuCanoe makes me an 8.5, and they're so much closer to perfect.
Yeah,
but like the wire pass-through channels not being open is stupid.
Exactly.
The new plates that they came out with, you have to buy off their website. Unfortunately, they are better, but you still have to take the plate off, drill a hole in the boat, drill a hole through the plate.
The wiring,
like,
I was gonna put that under user experience because it's not a guarantee that it's an issue for you. It may or may not be, but like I have the same problem using the pod the way I wanted to. It was 100%. A little bit tricky. It was a little bit tricky installing the drop down thing for the transducer. Didn't love that. Like that was tricky. It was trickier than it should have been. It didn't work as good as it should have. Scratched the shit out of my transducer.
Don't like that at all. So I do not like that option.
You know, you can put that under design or user experience. I'm kind of fine with it either way. But I hear you.
It'll get knocked at one point. What I do want to say is like a lot of people look at this and go, "Yo, canoe." Like it's an open kayak. Like, and it is the track. I think the track and a lot of amenities give it the extra boost. But
it's so low. It's very flexible. It's unbelievably stable. It's like comically stable for what you're getting.
Right, which is what I think holds it up. So I that's why I'm saying 4 out of 10.
That's
like
fair.
I wouldn't go low, but
we have to when we get to the later ones. I think it takes less of a hit on some of those things because you kind of got to put them in one of the buckets. So I'm good
balance
with
it out.
I'm good with going 4. I'm good with going 4 here. I'm good with it.
So for there, going to user experience, I would say I've had a pleasant experience with this. Is this where we want to add like some of the accessories that we've been using on
that's
this
where
thing?
I think either that or performance. I think you probably
part of it is I would give this a 4. Let me just start there. I feel like
it's a 4.
I feel like it deserves a 4. Rigging this thing was more of a pain in the ass than I was hoping for because to run wire through this thing, there is not a hatch other than the rear circle hatch back here that you can like reach your arm in. So basically everything is inaccessible. This is very much used like a shop vac trick. Maybe if
you can figure something out. It's just not easy.
Magnets, like it's a pain to wire. And there's a lot of little channels and things that you have to run the wires by.
It's not great.
It was a pain in the butt. That definitely gives it a big old knock from me. If you do every wire above deck, cool. But if you're running through, you're gonna
like installing Quick Connect could not have been easier.
Super easy.
The gear pod could not have been easier. The pulley system they have is really slick for all the stuff they use it for. I really like that. The new rod channels, like there's a lot of stuff that use it, and it's so simple.
Well, that's on the U10. That's not on this one. I know. We're not there yet.
True.
So this just has basic rod channels. I never use them.
I also think that, like from a user experience perspective, like buying this kayak is, I know it falls into value, but it gives you so many options to be like, man, I really didn't want to pay for that up front. Like my cost of entry is so low.
You get the foundation.
It makes it accessible. I can go out and buy this for Christmas and not feel like I need to spend the full amount all at once, and I still get to get the kayak. So for me, I put it solidly. I put it solidly in 4.
For going to performance, it's fast, it's stable, it's light. I mean, where do you knock this thing? It performs insanely well. Both
the swivel seat,
the Unlimited and the U10
is great. The rear area is super like wide open. Everything works as intended. The all the accessories, with one exception of the transducer thing, has worked so well. The Quick Connect system is head and shoulders above anything else out there. This is where I think it shines. I think probably gets the 5 here.
Yeah. The performance, I don't know where to knock it on that.
I don't know if it's enough to drop it out of 5. It's so good.
I see a couple comments here. So Mike M says needs a pedal drive. They do have a pedal option. We've never used it. I'm not going to talk about it.
I agree though.
I have zero interest in that pedal drive actually.
Not in that one. And this, look, anybody that doesn't offer a pedal drive for me, I don't think it should be a requirement. Like when you buy the Titan X, I don't think you should have to buy it with pedal drive. I think you should buy it as an accessory. I think every kayak company should offer a console mounted pedal drive, and you shouldn't have to buy it there.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree, but that's design. That's
but I wanted to go through hull.
You know,
I don't. The pivot drives goes off the back. Like I don't
I
like
agree.
that.
No. I totally. That's what I'm saying. I'm like everyone should have a console mounted pedal drive.
Yes,
I agree with you,
I would
100%.
love
It should
that.
be an option for everything.
Yep.
Agreed.
Chris asked about the TRS system. That's the retract system, which is for their
don't love it
to mount your sonar underneath. So I would rather just have a scupper holder. The retract moves about this much, and the design right now is not there. We told the guys like I called them because I broke mine, like broke it, and I was like, hey, why did this happen? And we talked about it for a little bit. I don't love the design.
Mine's just fixed. I just leave it in there.
Same. I have forgot to deploy it and noticed zero difference in side scan. So pointless. I would love to see it better, or just a fixed position scupper instead of the retract system.
I would want it to where it's got a guard in the front, like the Guardian shield, and it hits it and it just scoots up.
That'd be super neat. So let us know when that happens. NuCanoe, that'd be awesome.
Performance, I'm gonna give it the 5. But then immediately, I think quality, and this is where we talk about durability. It's a soft plastic. It really is. I don't love that. I don't think it's like super detrimental, but you absolutely have to be careful about dragging this one, and you absolutely have to get a plastic bump guard for the front. It's an absolute must.
You have to. So Burley Pro makes our favored one. We put it on basically every kayak we get. It's just really hard plastic, and it will hold up a long time. I tried to destroy one. It never actually broke on my Hobie. I dragged that thing all over the place. I dropped that on the ground, like from the truck. Bam, no issues. So you got to do that. This is a very soft plastic. I can scratch it with my fingernails. That's how soft it is, which is absurd. So you have to give it a big old knock for that. And it feels like walking around in the cockpit can feel a little squishy if you're a bigger boy like me. That's what we mean as well by soft plastic. So I've been very worried about damaging it in ways like that.
I would take the hit on weight. I would take the hit on weight if it were more like a standard, harder, more durable plastic.
Other than that, 100 pound unlimited, 15 pounds more plastic.
I would take the hit, honestly. I do, but otherwise, the quality's been very good. Quick Connect system is very high quality. Like
I've had a few issues because the NK300 is just a monster
beast.
The Quick Connect is perfect for the NK180 Pro motor or the ultralight Torpedo probably, but like for the big boy motors,
you're pushing the limits.
You will have a tough time turning a little bit, and also it can slip because it's just like held by tension with like
a ball with a big spring.
So you're gonna have some issues there and reversing and things like that. So I think there can be some issues there. Would we go a 3 or a 4 here?
I'm probably going. You might go 3 here.
The wind just got insane. So crazy.
I think this is one where I could be swayed. I could be swayed on this one. I mean, we're trying to be really aggressive here. The quality is really good though, like through and through. I don't think it's like a huge knock. It's
not falling apart.
No, God no. I mean, like the seat, I feel like the track.
Is safe.
I think, I mean, I would vote for a 4. If you want to leave it to the people, we could do that.
Let's put it on the people, and then let's go to value. So people, quality, your opinion on NuCanoe. Would you go a 3 or a 4? This includes durability.
I know we have some NuCanoe owners too, so you guys know what we're talking about here.
Don't get us wrong. We love this kayak. Like you'll see scores on here. Like our favorite thing might be 85%,
100%.
It's just, but no, it won't be 100%, Paul. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, on value, I put this at a 5. I
don't think you can do a 5. It's a $1,800 paddle kayak that starts with nothing. So unfortunately, if it were to start with more, or if let's say the accessories were more accessible, like they're a little more affordable.
The accessories are expensive. That like the gear pod at $250 is expensive. It really
is a 4 all day. Like this is a 4 on value all day long. I don't think you could ever give this a 5. This is one of those price points with a kayak paddle, especially with nothing else, that many people are going to balk at. They're like, no, that's too much.
That's fair.
So, and I feel you. So otherwise I would, like, if it were if it were 1500, would you be like, insane? That's insane.
Yeah.
Like I would give it a 5 right there.
Fair.
It's close, but it's not there. All right.
Yeah, I mean, walking in, you're not getting the pedal drive. I think, trying to think of, that's kind of what I keep going back to, is like, if I added the motor, the battery, or if I added the pedal drive. So if I add quick connect, I had a battery and I had a motor, I'm at like closer to the 3000 versus the 2600.
Yeah, if you do the battery, the motor, it's 1,000 for the motor. The battery is, just call it another 15. I mean, you're over 3K.
That's what I mean.
Once you do the rigging, yeah.
But you're also completely motorized.
You're
versus
probably less
pedals. So I mean,
you could do it for less than a tight necks. You could do that. You could pull that off.
That's where I'm getting at, where it's like, it's still it is cheaper than a lot of other kayaks. In the same class.
You hang on, new fishing. You must have gone back to when we were talking about rigging. You put the wire through the rear hatch, tie away to it, lift the boat, and let it fall to the front. You know what? Like, you're not wrong.
You still got to fish the thing out, and it doesn't work. What happens when it doesn't go exactly the way that it's supposed to, and you have a limited amount of wire, or you're trying to wire the foot steering cables? It has to go directly the way you want. It works. It can work. Doesn't always work the way that you want.
Doesn't mean it's easy, but also, you mean what? Like if you put a metal washer, or I used an Allen key, like you let the Allen key fall, that worked amazing. I did end up doing that, but to pull it to the front, there is no front hatch, so you have to use a magnet to just draw it out. That's what I did. It ended up working. There's a way to do it. Also, kudos to you for thinking in 3 dimensions. Like I'm sitting here trying to reach down the kayak, and you just went gravity.
Gravity.
You got me there, New Fish. You got me there. All right. So Chad is saying 4 versus 3. It's 54 to 46%. Another close one, but I agree with them. Let's go 4 on quality.
All right.
I'll give it. All right. That should put us at 80%. No.
Let's pull it down 85? And find out.
Let's find out. 84%.
Right there.
21 out of 25 is what we're giving the NuCanoe Unlimited. I think it's pretty fair. Like, it is really nice. I did find myself towards the end of the year, not just because I had it and it was newer to me, but found myself grabbing the Unlimited more than the Titan X many a time going to the water. So I think it's fair that it would rank a little bit above that for me. All right, go to the next one. We got the U10. We're already on NuCanoe's website, so let's do it.
I think the U10, it does have some improvements, but it is smaller.
There's a lot of improvements.
Yeah, it does. Are any of them like staggering, where you're like gonna change these scores?
I don't think it's going to change the score too much. I do like the rear pocket is so much better
way
than
better.
The front pocket that is on the Unlimited.
Yep.
There's a lot of just like
the rod storage situation is way better. Like
quality
you're
of
setting
life
rods
is
down
updated.
way better.
Yep.
It is
even these, like the recessed rod holders in the back in the Unlimited, they're borderline unreachable. They are so far back. I never ever use them, but these are right behind your seat. So I just feel like the way it's built is really nice. I do like this one.
I just don't know that it pushes it out of any of these categories.
I don't think so.
I think the scores are the same. I mean, it is better in some areas, but it being a 10-footer, right? Like the value proposition, I don't think really changes at all. It's
close enough to
you're still getting a 5 on performance for sure. It might be like 5.1 in your brain, but it's still just so good. So I probably take all the scores, I just duplicate them. I think this is the same thing.
Literally would copy paste it. So
that's what I'm gonna do.
Going across the board here, you guys, design and innovation, very similar to the Unlimited. A few quality of life upgrades, the wire pass-through plates that are replaceable, they were improved on the U10, which is now something you can do backwards compatible with your Unlimited if you wanted to. But other than that, we're giving it a 4 out of 5.
Again, I don't think it gets out of the 4. I think it's still
it's still an open kayak. Yes, it's 10 feet, but there are other 10-foot kayaks that give you a lot more stuff to start with. So anyways, user experience, same thing. 4, it's going to perform. It performs almost identically.
Yeah, you get a couple wins with like the way the rods lay. You get a couple upgrades on just being able to reach stuff a little better. But it's
wiring's
it's
the same.
Wiring. Like I think it's about the same. Doesn't bump you out of the 4.
Nope. Performance wise, it performs about the same. Quality, durability
on the river.
Yep. and quality and durability is the same because it's the
Same
same
issues.
build, right?
Yep.
Like, and then value overall, it's still 1649.
And that's a newer release, so I got to give them
Yep.
kudos while we're on here for keeping the price low. But I still think it's, you know, it is still a great value. Is it like the penultimate? No, it's very good. So yeah, same scores. It's a banging. I love it. It's my only kayak right now that I own.
You have two, don't you? Well, you
Do
have the
I?
Isle Flywater. Yeah.
Sure, if you want to count an
What
inflatable. It's my
are you
only
talking about?
hard-sided kayak that I own.
That's right. You sold the Shoalie, so the Shoalie's
Did.
gone,
Yeah.
which is what we're talking about now. So let's go over to the Crescent Shoalie. There's Drew right up there. Kayak Adventure Series coming up again next year. We should probably
banging kayak
see if we can go to one. But the Crescent Shoalie. And is this the one that Drew put the power pole talons on?
I think it was.
I think it was. So this will take a NK300. It'll take a friggin' actual real power pole that you would put on a bass boat. Two of them, which is fucking nuts. Anyways, $1,600. Let's start with design. I feel like design on this is amazing.
The 5.
So I know we both owned one. We both got rid of ours, and that's just because we can't keep that many kayaks. So
I just don't have a need for it. But really, it's a
we don't hit the river enough.
There's a couple of things that I don't like about it, but it's like more preference than anything else. You know, the seat, you know, could be a little more technical. Like it could be upgraded, I think. You know,
it's a standard Crescent seat.
It's a standard Crescent seat, right? But this is how you get to $1,600 for this design. I love you can see the measuring board, that space for the measuring board, genius. I cannot believe other kayak manufacturers are doing that. The little area up front, that little square, that tan square in the front, amazing. The fact that you can drill a couple holes in this thing and have rod storage, amazing. Like going the other way too, like on the inside of the kayak for transport. I do wish that the insert inside the hatch was removable. That would be a huge design upgrade for me.
Back here?
Yeah, no, in the front hatch. The front hatch, I wish it was removable.
Oh, so this is it's molded in, which is problematic.
Nice. It's two-tiered. It's really nice. I wish it was not molded in. I really wish it was removable. Yeah.
Hard agree.
I do. This kayak paddles extremely well.
So good.
It everything else, I know it motors well. It does. There's not the same like level or amount of like plates available, but everything you need exists. You're just gonna probably have to buy it and pay a little more from Crescent. But like this is a very well laid out, very well thought out, minimalistic, every water friendly, like lake and river friendly kayak at a price, I think $1,700, $1,600. People kind of shy away from it because it's more expensive than the other Crescents, but it's coming with a lot more, and it really is sort of the pinnacle of simple, efficient, high quality, well-designed kayaks. They will regret the foot steering later on now that a whole bunch of other stuff exists. But I'm hoping that with what is coming out, the pegs that are coming out from Source Crate, I think that will take care of that problem, and now it is back to being like a super premium kayak.
Yeah, so performance-wise, 5.
I think so.
It's stellar. It at the time that it came out was like unheard of, man. This thing blew everybody's mind, especially since like river kayaks don't get enough love. So that was really cool to see. All right, but yeah, the technical nature of it, fantastic. Going to user experience, I would say it's a pleasure to fish out of this thing. It's so fun on the river. We did a couple river adventures,
but I think that's performance. I'm thinking about like wiring. I think it's a 3. I think it's probably a 3.
Well, let's skip to performance then, and we'll come back.
We did. I gave him a 5. I gave him the 5 on performance. Like, it's
if you guys want to see how much fun this thing is to paddle around, just go check out some of our Crescent videos we did. Like, we took these on the river like the day we got them, and we went under trees, and we were just like banking turns, and it was insane. Pleasure to use. Performance, 5 out of 5. User experience, you definitely got to knock them. So in terms of wiring, because the front hatch is molded in. You've got this rear
Low
circle
gunnels.
hatch. Yeah, like it is a pain in the butt to
And
do anything with this.
And I don't love like there's not a lot of width at the back. Now that's because of you're trading the width in the back of the storage area for like the design and performance, but it is a trade-off. So that you don't get a square back end, you lose a little bit of space there. And it does mean you can't get like a 16 by 16 in there comfortably. Like you're gonna lose some storage for sure. And then the rod holders that come with it are rear facing rod holders because they are, they're supposed to be facing backwards. Like it's a riverboat. So you give a little to get a little there. It's a design. It's like just like the Titan X. You get the weight, but you get the stability. So you can't hack it a bunch, but user experience falls. Someone called out no brass inserts for motor mounts. So when you go to drill, you got to actually drill through and you got to add a plate.
There's spots for it. They didn't put the inserts in it.
I know.
It's just
don't love that.
Shown and you just go.
So I think you probably go. Maybe on design and innovation somewhere you could probably put them at a 4 for some of that stuff. But it's like giving a little to get a little. Like you get a lot, but you gave up some stuff. So I'd probably put it at a 3 on user experience. It sounds really bad, but it's kind of like a catch-all for a bunch of stuff. Like this seat, like. You're not getting like the super technical seat. So should that fall under design? Like it's both a blessing and a curse. Like they did it on purpose.
Let's go 4 and 4 on that. I think
think
it would be fair to say that the motor mount in the back is a miss. Like that is a huge miss that you have to mount a plate. You have to drill the dang holes. Yeah. You need the plate because you have to reinforce it anyways, but they didn't go ahead and do the brass inserts. So you have to
wiring,
do a washer.
Wiring, it's going to suck.
Yeah, and wiring this thing sucks. So we'll drop the design part there, and then user experience will drop as well to 4. Fair. And I don't think 3 is fair because there's a lot of things to love about this.
So much,
but then all right, quality durability. This thing is made to be dragged. I know for a fact that Drew Gregory drags this thing everywhere.
I beat the I dropped mine down 20-foot embankment.
Like
I have the video to prove it.
Thrown these. They've been wrecked.
They're pretty solid, man. I think I mean 4. Is it a 5? I
don't know. Like what? How do you get a 5 out of 5?
The only thing that might put it in a 5 is the fact that there's not much that could break. You actually can't break anything. Like everything is molded in. There's not a lot of like things to break. It's just it's a one-piece deal. So it could go 5.
I'm trying to think if there's something that I've had a major issue with, and I don't think that I have.
Everything's made in the USA. That
it is made in the USA. Does that give you a 5? I think.
I mean, it doesn't. Not though. All right. I think you get the 5. I think. Well, that's a big nod, but I'll give it there. Right. Now, what about value? I don't think this is a 5.
This can't be a 5. It's $1,600 for a riverboat. Like. How much was the Predator MX in its day? The Predator MX, $1,200.
I thought it was like 16.
Was it 1,700?
Yeah, I think it was like 16.
That would have taken a knock of the value as well. Then, because very similar. Just wider,
you want to talk about heavy duty? That boat was heavy duty.
Oh, that thing was insane.
See, that's what that to me is the pinnacle of heavy duty. This is a step down from that. Even I mean, I think that boat was indestructible. That boat was not possible to break.
It was like the pre U10 because it was like open cockpit.
It was unreal. That was a great boat.
All right, so value wise, man, I don't know, like $1,600 is a lot. You do get a lot with the boat. Like it does a lot more than you.
It's made in the
USA. It does a lot more than you think it does. Can we give it a 4?
I think we let the people decide between 3 and 4. I think we go back to the people. Because this is tricky, man. You don't need to add a lot to it. Right. You add an anchor system and you can choose to add a motor or not. Right. But you're not paying the price for that, just like with the NuCanoe. Like you don't pay the penalty for it, but it is still $1,600. And that's a lower price. I think it used to be $1,700. I think.
I feel like we bought it at $1,850.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was $1,750 when we first got it. So it's come down a few $100. But it's not a cheap kayak at all.
All right, well, the people are speaking, and right now they're voting 3s. So we'll see if we get those votes up a little bit more, maybe closer to 15, 20, and we'll go from there. But this is the biggest margin win than I think we've had on anything so far.
That's not even close.
Yeah. All right. It's not close. 69%. Oh, 70. It's getting worse. All right. 3. It's a 3. We got it.
Well, even with that, it still gets a 21 out of 25.
It's still an 84%.
That's still a very good score.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be feeling really good about that.
It's good. I mean, I agree that it's a good boat. All right. So let's go to the LT2, which is still here. The light tackle 2. Now, this is like stripping down your Shoalie and you're going to $11.99. You're losing a lot of those features.
You're getting a longer kayak, one that really truly is designed to be paddled like exclusively. Like this really is a paddle kayak. It does have fishing elements, but it's not strictly speaking of fishing kayak.
Still a good kayak all around. This is open. There's no molded in like bin in here, so you can access right there.
I wish there was a drop in. Like that's a gripe for me. Like
drop in is what everybody should do. I don't want these molded ins.
Somebody made the point with a riverboat, you want it sealed. You don't want any water in there, and so you're guaranteed not to have water if it's molded. So I respect that. But with a fishing kayak, it's kind of it's a desire. It's a desire.
Yep. RGR 798. It's a swing vote, man. So we pick the numbers and you help us swing the vote. That's it. That's why 2 and 5 weren't on there, because we feel like it's got to be a 3 or 4. You help us decide which one.
If I thought it was even had a chance of being a 2, it would be a 2. So
still our rating. All right. You can get into super skinny water, take 4 rods on this thing without issues.
I agree.
Python, you're talking about the LT2, maybe? I think either one you would. Yeah, they do have you can go super.
The draft is hyper shallow. Yep. I mean, these are designed to be paddled. So let's go through this real quick. So I think let's talk about design. The rear
no pads included.
No pads. Yep.
Rear hatch.
It's not a cheap ad either. And then you got to do it yourself. The rear hatch is again same thing with the Shoalie. I got to go the long way with this with the 12 by 16s or the 12 by what is it? 12 by 16, right?
What?
The crate size.
Oh yeah. So again, skinny crate, 0 back storage. These little channels right here are good for like dead baits, and that's it. The cup holders are all of the Crescents, like they just have a little bunch
fine.
There.
Yeah,
they're fine.
There's not now the track is a big loss. Like it's their brand of track, like it's an off brand of track.
Yes,
it doesn't fit everything perfectly. It's plastic. That middle one in the front, great for a cup holder, phone, but not for a screen. Definitely, you got to bolster it. The front hatch is nice.
Yeah,
it's simple, but it's from a fishing kayak perspective, it's not phenomenal. Now that being said, if you're a minimalistic person and you are into like a fast boat, this thing doesn't weigh anything. It's very, very, very light, and it's at that 12.9. Like it's a longer kayak. So you get a lot of kayak for not a lot of money and not a lot of weight. You can, when I added the motor to this thing, it's very fast. If you like simple, this is the one for you. So when I go to design, this one probably gets. Again, you're giving a little to get a little, but it's a fishing kayak. I think it's either a 3 or a 4. There's a lot to really love, but if you don't love those things, you're taking a hit. Like you're not loving it. So I think it's got to be either 3 or 4. I probably put it, because we're a fishing channel, I put it at a 3 because it's not.
I put it at a 3.
It's not designed to be a fishing kayak.
3 just like out the box. When I saw this, I knew why you got yours, and like I wanted to, when the CK2 came out this year, I thought about that till we used it, and I'm like, no, I'm out. Like I don't want these. So anytime I see these,
it's a sit down vessel too. This is not a stand up boat.
It's not how I operate.
That's probably where the design. Yeah, you can. I didn't do it a lot.
They're not made for that.
User experience, I think, is good. I never had any issues with it. This was really easy to rig. I didn't have a problem lining this one up on my own.
You got the open front hatch, so it's easier.
Yeah, it made Shoalie. It made life a lot easier, and there's not a lot going on the inside. So, and it does have those 2 spaces in the front, kind of in front of the foot pedals. That made rigging quite easy. Actually, there's nothing behind them, and then doing the foot steering was super easy. So I'd probably get the
4.
user experience of 4, and then again,
Well,
if
hang on.
well,
The foot steering was super easy, but we had to create a lot of spacers because the foot steering wouldn't line up with the steering cable.
True.
And we had to cut them shorter because the amount of space to put your said foot steering is
which I think that's
short.
how the ones I bought are designed. You would have to do that with
those are standard length. That's if you buy any for this boat, you would have to do that. You don't have to do that on most.
Either way. I do like the little zipper pockets on the side. It's such a small thing, but I did love those zipper pockets. They actually were, for what I use stuff for, I loved them.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of those, nor the webbed pockets on
that's what I mean.
options.
I don't know. I like
these were zipper mesh, right? And then their Hobie had the silicone webbed pockets.
They did, yeah.
Hated.
Yeah, I didn't love those.
Hated them.
So
yeah. Yep. Not a fan.
I mean, I'd probably give user experience. It's going to be a 3 or a 4. I mean,
it's fine. What do you say if it's meh? It's 3.
Yeah, it's 3. I think it's probably 3.
It's fine. 3.
Yeah. Performance. I think it's got to be a 4 or a 5. Like, it's got to be a 4. There's
this is how my brain works right here. New fishing. I feel that every time I look at this, I'm like, 79-pound total weight, 85 for unlimited, 450 capacity, 650 on the unlimited.
Well, and some of it again is
if I could save a little bit more money.
But again, it's some of it too is like, what are you buying it for? Because it weighs less. If you're not planning on adding a bunch of stuff, this kayak is better. Like if you're not going to add stuff, this is better. If you want to add stuff,
how is it better? Price wise, it's better, but because in no other ways.
This is where I think where if you're gonna knock it on design, I don't think you can knock it on performance because it perform for what it was intended to be designed for. I think it does a really good job of that. So like
that's 1 out of 5 categories. I would never grab this over an unlimited. And I would give you the price and I would give you the speed, and then everything else I'd be like, nope, I'm going on unlimited. It's a no-brainer for me.
I hear you.
But I'm just saying, like in terms of the extra assessment, the Jeff's extra assessment.
Sure. Yeah.
I was a mid to meh on this boat since the moment I saw it. It's just not huge on this thing.
Yep.
I think there's so many
I think
ones.
a big reason of that is like why you buy the kayak that you buy. Like you buy the unlimited
there's the preference
because it's a fishing kayak and it's a stand-up kayak. Like if those are things you don't care about, I think this kayak can carry the day for you. So I think this is why when I say like, where do you take the hit with the gripes of this kayak? Do you take them on design or do you take them on performance? Because the way it's designed, I think it performs exactly as designed. Now, if you don't like the design for fishing, you nail it on the design side. But on the performance side, it is really fast. It's super simplistic, and that's how it was designed. So I think it executes there.
I think it's a 4. It's not.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's probably a 4 here. Is it a 5? Definitely not. But is it a 3? I think that you're doing it an injustice. If you give it a 3 on design,
fine. This kayak is fine.
Sure.
All right. So then we go to quality, durability. It's plenty durable. Quality from Crescent has been nothing but great.
But this one is trimmed down. So
well, it's not gonna be
quality. I didn't.
Perfect.
Yeah, it still has It's still super rugged. Yep. I think you can't give it a 5. I think you can give it a 4.
I think 4 is fair. Like it would have to have some major issues that we did not encounter.
No.
To knock it down anymore. But
there's nothing to break either. Like that's the same with the Shoalie. Like there's nothing to break.
This is something that I hear a lot. Efficient and paddle well. Like when it comes to Crescents, a huge plus is like the community that wants to just get out and paddle. And for that, I'd say 110%. We're going to review from the standpoint of being a fishing channel. I think that's how we have to review these. Like you expect that we look at this as a fisher person, and that's how we would feel about it, right? That's because it'd be weird if we thought of it any other way. Like we're not wreck paddlers. We're not whitewater rafters. So we're not going to.
You're kind of jamming a round peg into a square hole with this one a little bit.
This one is like, if you're fishing, I would point you in the direction of many other kayaks. If you just want to paddle around and have a good time, there's nothing too much wrong with this. This is the first time I saw Paul flip a kayak. It wasn't this kayak's fault, but it was this kayak that it happened.
It was, 100%. Yeah.
That was nuts.
It's the only time. And this
one memories.
And this last one here it's $1,200. Like It's the lowest. It's the lowest price kayak in the lineup.
Yeah. Well, in our lineup that we're talking about today,
Yeah.
I think 12. You still break the 1,000. You don't get like a lot for this. You get stuff, but you don't get like a lot of stuff.
No.
So I would definitely give it a knock to a 4. Like I think
4 is the highest you could possibly go, and I would be fine.
100% not a 5.
I would be fine letting chat go between a 3 and a 4, only because again,
4?
like the stuff that you get, like paddle ability, lightweight, that's not worth as much to other people. So not paying for it is almost like could be a con for some people.
Yep. Yeah. John Jefferson, we did similar things. We did have the NK 180 on there. It's the first vessel that we motorized with like a real motor. Oh, that's not fair. We used the Bixby on a few other on the Old Town, but this one got the NK. This one got like a little more speed. So yeah, totally agree. Also, angler, no, fisher person, man. Leave me alone. I like my phrasing. All right. Angry angler, next boat already. Don't tell me what to do on my podcast. All right, so let's settle it. Value, where are we at on this one? We go 3?
Probably. It's hard because it's such a low price for a paddle kayak, and you do get the 12 feet. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of fine with the 3 or 4. I can see where there's stuff you have to add still, like with the like the Titan X and the Unlimited. There's stuff where you're like, well, it comes with that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like rod holders being like a key one. So I could see a 3.
3 it is. Settled. Light Tackle 2, a 68%, 17. That is just a not for us score. There's a reason we don't have it anymore. But in terms of what we want to do, there are many other I feel better options
niche.
out there.
It's super niche.
It is. And that's what's got to give it a knock. All right. Yep. Now, Angry Angler, we will go to the next one. So
hey, this is one where
Old Town. So we're going to the PDL 106 from here. So the Old Town PDL Agent 106, right, Paul?
There it is. I was waiting for it.
The Agent 106. Oh my gosh. Get out of here, Old Town.
Every time.
Yep. All right. So this one specifically, PDL 106. We got a pedal kayak. Comes in 4 different colors, except not really. It comes in 3 because one of them is not allowed to look at.
Rip.
Also, Old Town, can you maybe let us zoom in a little bit? This is the view you guys are getting. Like, what the heck is this about? There we go.
Yeah, it's down there.
Take a closer look, it says.
I will do that.
Skip down there. All right, so design and innovation. Now, keep in mind, this is a older release.
7-year-old kayak at this point. This is an 8-year-old kayak at this point.
Take her out back, put her down, make me a new one.
Yo, it's still holding its own. All right, I think so. Design in general.
Yeah.
The knocks for the design, front hatch has to be a knock. Period. The
hatch, rudder, forward-facing rod holder on wrong side.
Not a huge knock though, because at the time there was no forward.
Nobody had forward.
That was the first one, so you got to give them the props.
It's a loss and a win.
Exactly. The seat I think is very good, especially for the times. And then I think the rear hatch is a loss. I don't love the rear hatch. The fact that they have the extra super wide gunnel at the back is a little bit of a knock for me. It does give you a ton of durability. This is probably the most durable kayak, arguably, of the bunch. Like it is peak durability. This thing is a tank.
The Titan X, the Hobie Pro Anglers, like most of the Hobies, not all of them, but like
the Hobie has like the internals, it's soft. Like if you put like it's hurting itself daily. Like it's and I don't think the Old Town does that. I think the Old Town is probably it's got to be one of the most durable overall.
Yeah. I forget about that because I never had that issue where like the seat issue that a lot of people had with pro anglers.
Yeah, but I mean with the pro angler, like it's a ticking time bomb as to whether when your drive
what's going to break your drive or that.
So, and then the unrepairable. Like this is not, you do not have to worry about that with this one. So I think design for this one, it's the minimum is going to be a 4 for me. I think so. Still really, really, really good.
There's a lot of things that they definitely 100% innovated on at the time. We talked about it earlier. This 4-bolt pattern didn't release with this. It was added later. So like early models, which they still sell, by the way, have just a handle here. But having the 4-bolt pattern, having the kick down up rudder, forward facing rod holder, you can't argue.
Floating pedal drive. You can stand in this one. This was one of the OGs, like no one else could stand. You could. This is still one of the most stable kayaks out there at the 10-footer. So I think this is at least a 4.
I'll give it a 4. I would never give it a 5. The offset is a terrible idea. I hate it. The forward facing should be on the other side. The rudder drop is mechanically not.
It's very annoying. It's very annoying.
Horrible. And then the little tiny steer knob loses me every time.
Oh, really?
Like, I hate the steering.
I never had a problem with it.
Absolutely hate it.
It also doesn't have enough gear track. It definitely needs more.
Oh, there's this too. Boom, boom. That's
it. Needs more. Yeah,
all you got.
So, but there's I don't know. It's puts and takes, and I hate the front hatch. I do.
Yeah, it's
4. Done. User experience to me, this is a 5.
Pretty high, right?
It's like 5, dude. You don't need to buy a single thing. I added nothing to this kayak.
Okay,
and was thrilled.
If you add nothing to this kayak, I'll give you a 5. If you want to add something to this kayak, though, there is no rear access.
Yeah, there is.
Oh no, it's under the seat, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a battery rear access. This is super easy to mod out. This was the easiest. Super.
There's nothing back here though. So what if you want to run a wire out the back right here?
Yeah, but all you would have to do is guide a wire 3/4 of the way, and you'd be almost there. I
have to drill through it from this side and then just run the wire.
But it's like right there. It's not
magnetize it to get it
or through. Just lift the front up. It's not that hard.
Lift the front up.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You lift the front of the kayak up and you let it go down.
Yeah, but you still have to reach through a hole this big to get your wire out.
Yeah, you could have a coat hanger. It's not
a magnet
compared to others. Yeah, compared to other stuff, this is not. And the whole front, very accessible. Not a hard kayak to wire. And then it's got that front area in front of the feet to mount like almost anything you want, like the buttons and all that kind of stuff. I do. But like I don't
here. Oh, the sidewall here.
Yes. And on the inside by her heel is also.
Can you do it
a little taller?
Could you do a captain's bridge on this?
Yes, there's 2 of them designed. Yeah, yep. They're angled, so there's 2 people that make a captain's bridge just for the PDLs.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, it has to be angled because this would go right over.
It would hit right in the front. Yep.
And there's nothing up here to mount.
And it moves forward, so you actually need it to be more forward. But yes, there's companies that make them just for that. Now, getting a bow mount on this is basically impossible. So if you're into bow mounts, it's a no.
Yeah,
you have to buy them in Coda.
But I also wouldn't give it a 5 because of the mounting position of the motor. I don't think you can give a 5 for that. You get an offset.
But does that go into design or performance or user experience?
Well, user experience is rigging, correct? So if I'm rigging, is
for
that
the most part,
part of that?
I feel like the fact that it's not an option, you're not running into that problem. So I would put that into design. Like we talked about the offset. I would put those into design flaws.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how this is a 5. How is it perfect?
It's not for user experience. I know.
I'm looking at the other kayaks on our list.
For me, it's a 5. I've never had a problem once I had this boat doing any of the things I want to do. Loading it, unloading it, incredibly easy. It's very light.
All right. So loading and unloading, we put that under user experience, right? So I'm trying to look back and see why
the
native Titan X would be a 4 and this would be a 5
because it was super heavy and you had to add wheels. Yes.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. I'm open to it being a 4. I cannot justify going lower than a 4. I think
I wasn't gonna go lower than a 4.
I think the user experience on this kayak is
well,
no, I'm not biased. I just think that it's that good.
You're getting mad at me for not agreeing with it being a 5.
No, I just
also it's not light. It's 107 pounds
for a pedal kayak. It is light.
Okay, well, all right. You get over 100 pounds, that doesn't make it easy to lift for the vast majority of the population.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying. It's tough to look at every other kayak on this list as a 4 or a 3 in this category.
All right.
You want to go 5, which is
I can be swayed to 4. That's fine.
I don't know a kayak that maybe could be a 5 on user experience, because I feel like it would have to hit so many boxes of being light enough to maneuver, don't really need wheels, the easiest rigging you've ever had in your life. You know, like
there's a lot of
trade-offs.
There's a lot of trade-offs that you end up with. Yeah.
Right. I feel like performance is fairly easier to get to 5 for us based on like what we're looking for with fishing.
Sure.
I feel like design and innovation maybe is easier to get to 5. I don't know how user experience is though. I'm curious. God, Mom, Dad, stop fighting. It's a 4.5.
We fought about that one.
About going half points. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we're not. I'm still glad we're not. I'm fine to go to 4. You can go to 4. I'm good with it.
This boat is not why he's a bionic man. A refrigerator is why he's a bionic man. You know that, Mike.
You don't have to be bionic to operate this boat.
Oh man. All right. So now that I just fought and died on that hill and we're giving it a 4, I now have no more hills to die on with this kayak. So it's like
I think there's I don't know, value. I think you could argue with this one, but
now, especially with the Slayer LTE dropping,
and that's new, right? So that's a new thing, right? So performance, I think you can stand out of this one in huge water and small water. It excels very well because it's a 10-footer. Yeah, good point. You know, nothing perfect for anyone. Perfect for
this was angler. This was your perfect kayak.
It's a really great boat.
Getting you to let go of this kayak was not
easy. It's a challenge for sure. Performance wise, it's really, I think it's pretty fast. It's not the fastest, but it's pretty dang fast.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
Yeah,
pretty stable.
It turns really well. There are, but like
fish out of
the rod left hand or the left side forward-facing
rod holder on the left is annoying.
Yep. The front hatch is annoying. I know we knocked it in design, but like that is annoying. It works fine, but it's super annoying. And the front area is not gigantic either. It's big, but it's not huge. And then the rear storage area should be squared off. They should have maximized it, and they didn't. The offset bolt pattern is annoying, but like everything, I mean, most things.
But there's so many other good thing. It takes on water, but it drains better than like the vast majority of kayaks with scupper holes right now.
The best one. I think it's the best one I've been in.
You don't even need the one-way scupper valves on this thing. Like, yes, water will come in, but it goes out like how it's supposed to because they balanced it really well. So I got to give it points back for that. I would say it doesn't have like the most amazing turn radius, but it's like it performs really nimbly on the water. Like it's a nimble little ballerina.
It is, and it's super stable. Like stability, this is like barely underneath that very top tier, and it's close.
It's branching on up there. It's 38-inch beam, I believe it says somewhere around here.
Should be. I think it's 38.
I'm pretty sure it's a specs. There you go. 38. I don't see it. Well, 450-pound capacity, 107-pound. That's a settable boat weight, and then. Yeah, I don't know why they don't show that
is weird
width. I'm pretty sure it's 38. I'm gonna just call it right there. It's 38 inches wide. All right, believe me. Okay, cool. Believe me.
So is it? I think it's got to be. It's probably a 4. You could argue a 5.
Paddle kayaks is going to be hard to get to a 5 because a lot of things have to go really dang well. Paddle kayaks, I feel like. Hard not to give them a 5 a lot of times, as long as they paddle well. So I think 4 is fair here. Quality durability though, that's where Old Town takes a freaking cake, dude.
I think so too.
Old Town puts out a good product, and I don't think anybody's going to argue that.
Like all the little stuff we talked about, like not having brass inserts, like that's included.
Except this kayak. The e-pedal was such a curveball to my face. Like, what are we doing?
That's where they took a nosedive on, in my opinion, design, but then also on value, which is
they just reformatted the Big Water, which is our next kayak to quickly review because it's not great. But yeah, Joey, we did not get an e-pedal, so right now we're reviewing all the kayaks that we used and like possessed for more than a couple of months. So these are all kayaks that we've put a lot of time in on the water. So quality durability, it's Old Town, dude.
I think it's 5, man.
I don't know how you don't go 5. It's a 5.
I think if the Shoalie gets a 5, I think this probably gets a 5.
Shoalie gets 5. This is getting a 5. Going to value, I'm cool with 3 or 4.
It's got to be a 3 or 4. It's I think the problem is of all the alternatives out there, except for like within the last couple of months, you would have argued that it was a great value.
Yep. Yeah, it's getting tougher. I feel like this price category is going to shift
I agree.
down in our favor.
Yep.
It already is. The Slayer LTE is $350 less than this kayak new. Granted, you can get this used. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking MSRP today. So
yeah, and they haven't dropped it, which I think is weird.
Yeah, I would. 2,600 is a weird price point. So I think with 26, just to nudge Old Town to knock this down, I feel like we go a 3. No,
I think so too. I think
I don't want to beat up your favorite kayak of all time.
No, but if this was $300 cheaper, it'd be a different conversation.
Yep. 100%. All right, so let's give it a 3. Let's see what happens. 80%. I think that's fair.
It's very well rounded.
It's an 8 out of 10 boat, man. That's good. That's
really good.
All right. Let's go to the big water. So this one, I'm immediately giving like a much lower score. Let me see if I can get a slight.
I think this one is this one. This one I think is even older than the PDL.
This is the Predator. This is like a 2000s build.
Yeah,
that's what's going to get this a lot of knocks. Innovation is almost 0 on this. Oh, cool. Yeah, take me right back to the same site. Where is it? By activity, fishing. I'm never going to find this. There's a big water pedal. Salty pedals. Where are you?
Where art thou?
Make me look bad in front of my friends. Stop it. Dude, where are you? The Predator MX is still available. $12.39.
It's such a good kayak. Like, there's 5 things I'd fix about it, and I'd probably own another one.
Give me one. All right, I'm going back to try and find it.
Can you Google it?
I am Googling it. The problem is trying not to get the PDL. Pedal. Yeah, so here's the 132. Whatever. We'll go on Strictly Sail and whatever website.
Gross.
Strictly Sail and Kayak. Hey, this website. This is
open.
This
just
is
pull
not...
up the pedal. Just pull up the pedal version.
Yeah. Hang on. Go to Old Town's Big Water. Wait, where are you? There you are. Oh, it's eco fishing. Gosh, dang it. Here's get a top view. There you go. This is basically what it is. And I can't zoom it.
So I think,
you know what? This is taking too long. Anyways, here's the thing.
Design wise,
low.
I think, yeah, it's low. I mean, is it a 3 or is it a 2? I think it's probably a 2.
Because they're just using and repurposing the Predator platform, yeah, it's mega low.
I think it's probably a 2. I think you get there's some cool stuff, like the pod thing doesn't work the way you want it to at all. It was like a cool idea that didn't really materialize. I don't like the back hatch. It should be more open than it is. Like, the slope is weird on the back. I've always hated that. The seat is good, but it still has like the old seat problems, like where you lean back, the front can pop up, which I've always hated.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's exactly the Predator. So it's a boat from 2004, and that is ridiculous. It needs to be overhauled.
It's not fair.
It doesn't even have an access hatch back here. It's how the Old Town Predator was. You have to drill it out. So that thing stinks.
We'll go 2.
Yeah, it's a 2. This also, this
user
mid-hatch
experience
here
is probably also a 2. I think. Hang on,
like this mid-hatch here is another major issue. It's cool that it has a little magnet thing and whatnot. Like,
it didn't work the way you wanted it to.
Folds up.
Cool idea, was not executed well. So design takes a hit. User experience. I think if the cockpit wasn't so clustered because of that thing, it would be higher. Like, if it was open like the old ones, it'd be a lot higher. But I think it's the best you can give it is a 3.
I think it can be a 3. Yeah, I mean, you do have the basic bungee in the back. Like, the seat's not uncomfortable. It's not light. It's not light is another big
pretty
thing.
Heavy.
So spec wise, it's 86 pounds. I mean, so all right, it's a NuCanoe Unlimited, so I can't say it's like super heavy. It's
I think it's 3.
Yeah,
firmly in the
it's
3.
just not amazing. Also, this pocket. I never liked this pocket under the seat. Like, I've never.
It wanted to be a tray. It's not a tray. It's a 3.
It's atrocious.
Performance. Is it a 4? Is it a 3?
It does what it's supposed to do, man. It paddles fast.
Yeah.
I don't think you can knock it a ton.
No.
It does turn well.
Yeah. The handles I love. I've always loved the handles on these. It's
the
like
molded
the most
handles
hardcore.
are nice. Yeah. Let's give it I would give it a 4. Like,
I give it a 4 as well. It takes a knock on, again, the cockpit really is the biggest knock almost everywhere.
I motorized this one, you guys. I put the Bixby on
Yeah.
this with pedal steering
Yeah.
with their Versa rudder, the metal
Yeah.
one. Like, so I have used this extensively. I got it early this year. You can do a lot of things.
Yeah. Quality. The quality is very high. Like,
it's Old Town quality.
Yeah.
Like,
it's, I don't know that you can argue that the
it.
quality is low. I think it's probably, I mean, it's either a 4 or 5, probably.
I mean, does it get any knocks that the PDL 106 didn't?
No, I mean, it just has some like I think the pedal drive for the in the 106 gives it an edge. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, no. This thing is rock solid.
I don't know. It's the Predator platform. Like, that was pretty high quality. Solid. So do you not go a 5 on that? Like, I feel like if we're calling Old Town,
when it's in quality and durability, it's probably 5. I think there are some things that I don't like that give, like the version of the seat, I think drops.
Oh, okay. The seat, I'll give it the knock for. I do not love
not as good as the later models.
Yeah, and the fact that if you want that rear access hatch, like, you got to drill it out.
Well, and that mid console is not super high end either. Like, it's just not it's fine. It's fine.
It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, it feels like it'll hold up, but it also feels flimsy. It's like,
and quality is not only durability.
Yeah,
like quality is like, how good is the thing? And there's some stuff that's just not good.
I don't love it. Yeah.
I like the plates. You get the drill through plates, not track. Like, it's a 4. At best.
The fact that they went with these drill through plates, they added this track to them, is so dumb to me.
Comical. They didn't have another option without designing a new kayak. That was the option.
I just would rather have track. Like, the amount of track they give you makes it hard to mount something like in the middle. Yeah. So that is bad.
So what about value? Value, we're going 3.
Value's way down. It's a 3 because this kayak is $16.99.
That's 2.
You get more with the Shoalie than you get with this.
Yeah, I'd go LT2 over this all day. It's a 2.
Yeah. The LT2, because of the open cockpit. Like, that console being in the middle of the cockpit, you guys, is so annoying.
That's so frustrating. It really does it. Right when Jeff got it, I was like, oh God, I didn't realize like how much I was going to eat into the day. That really hurts.
I should have learned my lesson, because I had the Old Town Predator 13.
Well, I think you could get a U10 for the same price of that.
Yeah, exactly. Ain't no way I'm doing that. All right, so overall score, 15 out of 25, our worst ranked on the list right now. 60% is where it gets. 6 out of 10 on that kayak. Don't buy one. There's too many other better kayaks.
Yeah.
All right, Isle Fly Water.
But this is going to be tricky.
Tricky?
I think so.
Because sorry, we're shifting to inflatables now, you guys. So that is all of the hard plastic options that we have for our flotation vessels. Now we are going to go over to our inflatable options, and this is going to get tricky. Interesting, I would say, would be my choice of words, but let's do it. So the
design and innovation. Pull that sucker up.
So there's no way we go low on this one, and the reason that, I just mean like a 3 or lower. I think it easily gets a 4, and
I think it lives at the 4. You can't give it a 5. I have some very small but important gripes.
Reason for that, other than like, you look at this and you go, oh, an inflatable raft, I've seen 1,000 of these. The main reason is the infinity fiber, I would say. Like, they're in Popular Science. Like, how many other kayak companies have made Popular Science, or inflatable companies? These guys do subs inflatables. So infinity fiber gave it the 4. I think I'd agree with maybe not going 5, because the rest of the build out, I'm like,
well, and also it's not designed to be a fishing kayak. So, like, there are some things here that don't make sense. So,
but he's fly fishing right there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I mean, so the things that like the accessory areas, there should be 2 more, and the 2 in the middle should be moved up close to the front.
Based on positioning of seats, if you want to have 2 people in there, I'd agree.
And it does needs. The plate is good, but it's not perfect. The plate should. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why there isn't like a flat plate that you'd screw directly to those things and then screw stuff on top of it. Like the way they mounted the plate, I didn't like. And I really like, if this were a 5, it would have some sort of track that you could mount track to the top of it. Like, it would have a rail or something. So it's not a fishing vessel exclusively.
You're seeing that on a lot more inflatables now, especially
Yes.
if they're designed for fishing.
That's right.
This one can be fished out of. It is very fun to fish out of. I'll give it that. Design wise, I do like a lot about it, but I'm with you. Like, I don't see how we go to a 5.
Yeah.
I do love the little
seat
mounting.
The
plates
seats are
back
not
here.
the seats are not fishing seats. They're just comfortable, fine seats.
You're gonna want to 2-stack these guys. So if you get a Flywater, or if you ordered one, like, get extra of these bottom
Elliot
cushions.
Cutright said it best. Give us the high seat, you cowards. Yeah, I mean, this was meant to be super light, fit in a backpack, and be paddled.
100%.
So, yep, 100%, guys. So I think it can. You can get the 4. You can get the 4 at the highest.
You get the 4.
I think get the 4.
Give me my captain's chair. They said they were going to send us one, so we'll see if we can get you guys a review on it.
Well,
it's not out.
What about user experience? I think the user experience is pretty high. I would not give it a 5.
You can't give it a 5 because you got to work for your inflatables. I think you can do the electric pump with this, and you can save yourself some time. Even if you hand inflate this thing, like if you hand pump,
super easy. I've done it in 6 minutes.
I was gonna say 6 to 10 minutes, somewhere in there. Like,
not breathless.
3 chambers, 1, 2, 3, done. Sorry,
no, there's 4.
5 chambers.
5.
There's because these are each 2, which is
and then you got to do the seats, but it's
light. I carry it around myself and threw it in the back of the truck.
Yeah,
it inflates pretty fast, so you got to give it some kudos, some credit for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't give it a 5. Let's give it a 4.
I give it a 4.
Here's part of the reason. The inflatable bags, like the duffels they send these things in, are not good, you guys. Like, here's my call
I like
out.
this one. You didn't like this
them.
One?
Nope, don't like
that.
that.
I see what you're saying. I know where you're going to go with this. Okay.
The Wilderness is worse. The Wilderness
way worse.
The iAttack one was worse.
Yeah.
Shout out to the guy we had to ship it to because, my God, we had to figure some stuff out. Getting these things repacked, pain in the butt. The bags are huge. They're just huge. And
they're super big. Yeah,
you need a rigid handle on these. They need a rigid handle. A floppy handle means that my shins, my Achilles, my calves are just
your
getting
Achilles
whacked.
tendon is going to get wrecked. Yeah, okay.
Every single time.
Totally fair.
These bags are trash. But they do
work.
Fine.
They do work. And this one I think is pretty easy to pack up.
I would love
after your first try, you're pretty much educated.
Yeah, it's the 3-fold, roll it up. Like, it's not too bad. But yeah, I would say too, the electric pump should be included in these things. Like, if I'm buying an over $1,000 inflatable, give me the $30 electric pump that goes with it. But you have to have the specific nozzle attachment that locks in.
Yeah.
So
performance,
I need that.
What about performance?
Yep.
I think it gets a 4.
You got to knock inflatables because they fly across the lake with wind.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But
it's a 4.
The draft is 0. This was a ton of fun. It's
the Tokyo
extremely
drift is free.
It's extremely stable. But can you bring everything on it? You really can. You can bring an absolute crap ton of stuff on here, but it's not perfect. You
got to add the accessories to do the best with that.
Yeah, I think if you're in the mindset of the inflatable, I think this is probably a 4. It could be a 5 for a fishing vessel if it was like the Sea Eagle, like more like in that. So I think 3 or 4. Well, I don't know.
I would go 4. You and I fished out of this and had no issues. Yeah, it was very easy to do. So
quality,
4.
durability. This is a weird one. I think because the quality is very high. The durability for an inflatable is very high, but you can put a hole in it. So the 4 is the highest you can give it.
You did.
Like I did it, yeah.
I think you give it a 4. They actually, to their credit, after you broke it, because that was an early model. What we have is the early model of this, you guys. They messaged us about that, talked about it. They reinforced those rear areas so you can't over tighten now, which is good because that's a stupid idea. that's how they all
That's
are.
what I meant by like the back plate. Like, how is there not like a protection back there for you to just not do that? Like,
Paul's talking about right here. When you have to add a mounting plate to this to do a motor, you guys. And
theirs is nice, by the way. Very nice.
These take like a threaded bolt. And it goes into this. It's like pre-threaded, but it was open on the bottom. Meaning
there's no backing, so you could just go right into the kayak and pop a hole just by over tightening. And I was like, "What the?
Go right on through, baby."
You have 3 beers while you're trying to set something up at 11 p.m. You're going right through. I did it.
Well, whose fault is that? You dumb
Mine.
Mine.
All right.
And I'm mad about it.
Value. Right. I think it's probably a 3. Like
I think so. It's not cheap. There are a lot of inflatables that are really affordable.
It comes with a lot. It's nice.
It does.
It's
it
still
does
a 3.
come with a lot. It does come with a lot. But yeah, I think it's a 3. And again, this doesn't mean we don't like this thing.
No, I love this
we
thing.
do really like this. Paul still
this
has
is a high
it.
score. This is a high score.
I think we keep this one forever. I don't see us getting rid of it.
I'm not getting rid of it. No,
kayak.
I love this thing.
Oh, there's
Too
like
much fun. How many?
I got 2 inches of snow so far. 2 inches
Really?
of snow right now.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like
how
looking
many
out. My porch
ultralight
is covered.
days? Like the 2 or 3 times that we were both on it. How freaking fun was it?
I had some of the most fun I had this year was on this kayak.
Insane.
Sorry, inflatable. Overall score for the Isle Fly Water, though, you guys, is a 76%, 19 out of 25. Still really good, really nice inflatable. There are other inflatables out there. I think it got knocked mostly on value and a few other just design pieces we would love to see improve. Overall, very nice inflatable. All right. What's up, Diggs Outdoors? Yo, saying hi to the fam. Let's go. Happy to have you, man. All right. To Guggen Slayer, not even close to a primary vessel. Secondary, tertiary. I mean, that's your call, man.
Sure.
That's how we feel about it. All right.
I hear
Wilderness Systems iAttack. We actually waited a long time to even get into this thing. Our first opportunity to even talk to anybody from Wilderness Systems was, well, that's
this year, July.
I wanted to go. Was this year at iCast, and really nice folks got us hooked up. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this one again. So you tell them, but hey, there it is. Oh no, I just added it to cart. Empty cart.
Here we go.
That show that I accidentally bought a iAttack after we just gave one away. Oh no, I can't get rid of it. All right, I guess we're getting one. All right, so this is the Wilderness Systems iAttack. JK, it's gone. Let's see if we get a closer up look. Nope, thanks, Wilderness. I can do this. That's best I can do.
There's no more pictures?
There we go. All right. So we got the Wilderness Systems iAttack. This is the inflatable attack. They have an attack kayak, which is the hard plastic version. This is the inflatable version. Also, get out of here, Confluence. All right. So, design.
3.
Some people, I'm giving it a 3 as well. Some people like this seat. I do not like this seat. I do not feel that it is very comfortable.
It's not an all-dayer.
I like that it has a tubular design. Tubular, dude. But it is, it's pretty light. It locks in there. I think it's innovative that you have an inflatable with a rigid tubular seat.
That I liked, yeah.
And then it has that upper position. A lot of I used that in the testing video of this. I used the flip down high seat position, and people were knocking me for it. I was like, look, you were on my chesty. I was on the chesty cam. So of course you didn't see where I was sitting, but I sat on it. I did not like it. Immediately, it's uncomfortable.
Like, it's a lot of plastic and stuff for like zero benefit.
Exactly. So there's a lot to not like about the seats. There's some good things.
We don't
long
like
days, not comfortable either.
Yeah, we like the idea of it, but it's this with everything with Wilderness Systems. We see some just like if they actually used it for like 2 weeks, the way it was, it's a 7 out of 10, and that's exactly what it is. Same with the foot pedals, where you would like use them for stability. They rub against you, and then they fall out a lot. So we don't love that.
Right here.
The tube design in the front, they should have just made it a track.
I've never used it for anything ever. You can.
If it was a track, you would have used it a ton.
You can clamp things to it. You can treat it like an H rail and just like attach things there. I don't love that. A track would have been better.
It should have just been a track. I like
because it comes out anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I love the position of the accessory port things. I like that.
I don't. I think the one in the middle I would never use.
That's true.
One in the middle is fine. I would put a track
cup holder.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
this one is fine. This one is too close to the seat in the back. It's between the seat, and if you put a crate in here, it's in the way. So this is poorly placed. This one's good. The one in the middle, I'll take back. The one in the middle is fine because it's on the floor. You guys can't see it. It's like on the floor between your legs in front of the seat. That could be a great spot for a track pack, just to have a waterproof box.
And I think it's also supposed to be a cup holder spot.
Yeah, I did end up putting my cup holder there. And then, but this one to the right behind the seat is just too close. Handles are fine. Handles are comfortable. They're neoprene reinforced. Like
I love the D-ring in the front.
Yep,
with
the little
the
D-ring and the
webbing.
mesh or the bungee up front is nice.
Great.
This bumper skeg is insane. In fact, it caused me to like knock myself silly out of my boat like 3 times because I'd paddle ashore and I just like the bumper would hit before you would think that the bow of your boat's going to hit. Like normally your keel is not that robust.
No,
You just go.
but it is kind of nice and
It
it's
is cool. It's a
it's
bump guard.
intense. It's
Yep.
intense. The
The
fact that it's
bag.
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, along with design, the bag is trash. Like, I would love this bag. The aisle is better. Still hate it. This bag is trash. It's so big.
It like wants to be good. It's just not.
It has backpack shoulder straps. You'll never use that because it's like this much taller than you. It's like way over your head. It's so weird.
The only thing that really to me puts this into the 3 firmly, very firmly, is the fact that it's a sit inside kayak. Like it didn't need to be, and I think that they will look back on this and think, "Yes, we put ourselves in the Stone Age." Right.
Here's the problem with it: the drainage. There is none.
There's none, and it's just not. We didn't need a sit inside inflatable. We didn't need it. We needed the Flywater style. We needed something with a 0 draft. We need it's just this is an old design already. So I like the concept. If you wanted to sit inside, this is the only one for you. This is great, and it is light and it's convenient. It's good for someone. It's not great for everybody though. So I think this is a 3, very firmly in the 3. It's not a bad design, but it's not the best.
Yeah, there's some things to love and a lot of things not to love. The water, just like getting this thing dry is such a pain in the butt. So
yeah. So user experience, probably a 3.
You can kind of see it in our stability video. We'll talk about in performance in a second, but the user experience in terms of like rigging things up on here, it's those universal patches are fine. There you go. Now top down view, you can see this. So inflating this same amount of time as the Flywater. Not too big a deal there. I would say it's heavier than you would think. Because it's like compact, 50 pounds, awkward shape, carrying that thing around. What did we give the Flywater? 3, 4 on this? I'll give it a 3 because of the sit inside side of things. Really, it's just like it changes the layout a lot.
You're so much lower.
You're lower, which is not as fun on the water for me.
You can't motorize it nearly as easily. So to me, this is a 2 or a 3.
You got to put a Bixby on the skeg underneath.
It's the only option.
That's the only option, but that is something you can do, and we did do it. Steering that though, oh baby, you just dip a paddle and hope you don't turn
not
too sharp.
Like I think you give a strong edge to the. I think it might be a 2.
I don't think so. I'd give it a 3.
Okay. No. Well, yeah, you spent more time, so we'll go 3.
I did. I don't love it, but it's not terrible.
What about performance?
This guy's got a Bixby in. Look, he's running the cable out the back right there.
Sure do.
Performance, that's tough. So the Isle Flywater tracks better because it has 2 skeg fins in the back.
It tracks almost too good.
It's a tune design. It does drift. It is not free of drift. The iAttack drifts a lot as a single skeg. So I found myself spinning a lot more in this, as you do with one skeg and no ability to control it back there. So I was doing a lot of management with it. If it was windy, it was basically like I shouldn't even be out here today. So that was a problem. It is fast. It is not as stable as you would think, especially considering when I sat on the high seat position.
You get hit in the design there.
I tried standing on that thing, you guys, in the stability episode. This is what I was referencing. Immediately, no. Immediately, you're not doing that. I tried running all over it. You can see in that video where we test the Isle Flywater and the iAttack. Like Paul runs all over, like up and down the Isle Flywater, no problem.
You can stand on the absolute front.
Yeah. I got into the rear space of this, turned to look at Paul, fell out of the boat, like immediately fell out of the boat. So
goodbye.
Yeah, stability be damned. It's not amazing. So yeah, 3. I wouldn't give it a 2.
It's up to you. I'd probably do 2, but you said
I don't think so. I wouldn't be too harsh on it. I would give it a 3.
3. Quality and durability.
Durability of everything but the bag is actually really good.
I think it's 4. Yeah,
I was pretty rude to this thing and it held up really well. So I'd say 4. The bag just going from spot A to spot B. I broke every buckle on it. So sorry to, I believe, Lost in Tackle, who we ended up shipping our iAttack to for a giveaway.
It's cool. Like if I got this for free, I'd be stoked.
It's still zipped. The bag still zips, but like every buckle, just cut them off, dude. Just cut. Yeah. I think I cut 2 off before I sent it to you because I was like, these are pointless. They are shattered.
So what about value? Because it's $1,400.
That's where this thing gets hurt the most. It's like, do you go at 2 on that? Because the price was such a miss.
I do.
The price on this kayak is such a miss.
I expected it to be $1,000.
Yeah, I really did. $9.90. I believed that it was $8.99 or $9.99
in my
for the
heart.
It
should have been $1,000.
If this thing was $9.99, I think it would be like a really killer option. But there are too many inflatables on the market right now that are so much less expensive that it would be hard for me to say, yeah, drop $1,400 on this.
If this was a shorter, like smaller version with the same types of issues, but was like designed like the Flywater, and it was $1,400, I would make it a 4. But it's not
smaller than this. This is smaller than the Flywater.
That's what I'm saying. If this was a smaller version of the Flywater, if it was like that style, if it didn't have that, if it wasn't a sit inside,
11-foot Flywater
pontoon. Yeah. And it was this much, I'd be like, yeah, I'm in. But the fact that you're buying a sit inside for $1,400, I think that hurts you big time.
Fair enough. All right, let's do it. Let's rate it 3, 2.
I put it at 2.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's too much of a miss. It's 2. All right. So where'd we end up? I'm gonna switch
15.
tabs here. Can I zoom 60%. This thing in?
Same as the Big Water.
All right. I'm gonna show you guys the scores. Here we go. So to wrap things up for today on the reviews, first of all, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. There's a lot of reviewing to be done. We're gonna have to figure out a way to break up future like year in review videos to like 2 things, because this was sort of an experiment. Like we wanted to make videos like this too, like more in-depth, showing B-roll of us using the kayaks too, and we do plan on doing that. Just maybe not all of these kayaks in one video. So we might have to do like the best 3 or the worst 3, or best and worst combination. Won't include, like, there's no reason for us to post a video about the Big Water in 2024, the year of our Lord. There's no way. Like we just go. I love saying that. We just post like the more relevant, up to date ones.
The ones that are surprising and the ones people care about. Yeah,
I think so. So anyways, final scores you can see right here on the screen. Native Titan X 80%, 8 out of 10. You can call it NuCanoe Unlimited 84, U10 84, the Crescent Shoalie 84. So those are our top 3 tied up for tonight. The next one was the LT2 from Crescent 68. More niche. Not a bad kayak, just a little niche for what we're looking for, what most people probably are looking for. PDL 106, always a banger at 80%. Then we got the Old Town Big Water. Just don't buy it. 60%. I have nothing else to say about it. The Isle Flywater, 76%. Solid. If you're into inflatables, I think you'd be happy. It's a tough value price-wise. And then Wilderness Systems iAttack, the value just unfortunately isn't there. And there's a reason that it hasn't like blown up on the market. Wilderness should put it on sale. Like if they just put it on sale, it would be such a great option. And they put everything on sale. So I'm sure just because it's newer, though, it dropped in March.
Still, it's expensive, man.
It won't be until like next year. Well, we're almost there, but like next year, maybe we see that drop in price in the spring or something. I don't know. But that would make it better. So there you go. That is like our opinion, space man, y'all. What do you guys think about that? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And let us know in chat if we're wrong. We'll be listening because we still got a couple of quick questions to lead us out with some slow rolling thunder here, Paul. And if anybody posts,
I didn't even fill out the slow rolling thunder.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought these
are the old ones. I didn't get that far today.
Well,
I will. I have one though. I'm ready.
I was like, what do we say? Heck these guys. Let's get out of here. That's rude. Real quick before you do that, Chris Hugh, the Shoalie is awesome, like others. My opinion. Hey, 100%. That's a great opinion. And also, thanks for being a member with us for 36 months.
Legend.
There's
absolute legend.
We gave the Shoalie an 84, so it's top ranked, man. It's a banger kayak. It just is. Like, it's just not for us because we don't do river fishing enough. And I think we mentioned that at the time we were talking about it, but that's the main reason we don't have it anymore is the rivers, unfortunately, the good spots are hour and a half away from us.
And I think the Unlimiteds do a really good job on their own.
And then fill other boxes
fill
for
that
us
space.
better.
So it's like, you know, if you're going to go down to one and you're going to try and motorize those and do a bunch of testing and pay for that out of pocket, all of a sudden, you're going to do it that way.
Also, cheers to Chris Shue for gifting 5 Aggressively Average Anglers memberships. Appreciate you, brother. This is like everybody's just coming in to rally up right now as we're going through this. So real quick, before I get to you, DeBurley, appreciate you, man. Chris Shue has gifted memberships to Trey Litton, Kez Fishing or KEZ Fishing, Leanne Smith, All Is Outdoors. That's such a great name. Mac Flanagan. Also a great last name. So welcome aboard. You guys all got gifted a membership. If you didn't catch it at the earlier part of the show, next Tuesday, 12/10, December 10th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, we're doing our members only live. That is just for members. So be there or be square. We do giveaways on it. It's a blast. And then we got the Burley AAA hype man here saying, great show. Did you see the announcement of X2 by Hummingbird? Was the X2 by Hummingbird? I did not. Don't even know what it is about.
I saw it. I have not gone and done any research on it. I sort of don't care.
Ooh, well, when Paul bought a Hummingbird, he got Mega Live. Everybody was like, what's wrong with you? Stop it. So it's going to be hard for us to look back at Hummingbird.
Toad Fishing asked, who gets back in the game first, Paul or Aiden Hutchinson? It's going to be me. So technically, right now, I am back in the game. I have a working appendage, so I could go fishing right now. Mostly because my left hand. If this is my right, I probably wouldn't go.
We're gonna do a little of this sitting on a bucket pretty soon.
So I should. But I mean, even
ice.
if it was middle of the season, if it was summer, I would go fishing right now. Paddling would be a problem though, so I would have to make sure that I was at the motor.
100%.
But I could do it. Yeah, for sure, I could do it. I worked out today. Did an exercise.
Ooh. Did you do a cruise control workout?
I was set on cruise control. Yeah. I did like the warm up one that they let you do, which was fine. But it was mostly like leg stuff, so I didn't need to use my arms very much.
Good idea. Yeah. There was a lot of bicep stuff that you would
I saw that. Well, after I got through I saw that.
Skip the bicep.
And I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't do that today.
It's every Wednesday. Just don't do that.
Well, anyway, so when I had to do that stuff, I used a 4-pound weight and was like, that's the first curl I've done. Yeah, actually.
Nice.
So I used a 4-pound weight for this arm, and then I used like a 40 for the other one.
Nice. There you go.
Anyways, we made it.
We're moving. We're grooving.
Yeah, we are. I already beat Aiden. So let's look at my first Q of the D. Well, not Q of the D. My Slow Running Thunder. Best sugar-free soda on the market, because everybody has one now. You can go get whatever you want, and you can get it without the sugar. So which one is best? Who's the king of the crop?
Do alternative sugars count, or are we saying just straight up like it says sugar-free, or does like
if it just says no sugar?
Yeah,
anything that says no sugar.
Zevia doesn't count because it's
stevia, it doesn't count. No, that's a different sugar. I feel
outline the parameters.
I want to be clear. I want to be dead serious.
Sugar-free. I drink daily a Dr. Pepper Zero. You have one? I just consumed one. So the Dr. Pepper Zero, I will probably drink until I die.
It's really good. The cherry salad. I had a Mountain Dew, some crazy flavor. Didn't love it.
No, there's a lot of them that it's like, I don't know what the taste. I don't know how to describe it. When you lose the sugar, it just doesn't make sense anymore.
Coke Zero, though, is fire.
Coke Zero is a safe bet I always go back to, and I usually end up with like a 6-pack of it after I get like bourbon for the weekend. I'm like,
exactly.
All right, we got bourbon, we got Coke. I got leftover.
It's a lifesaver. It really is.
A little treat.
It is, dude. And you know what? It does save the day. Like when you're like, when normally you would go and just like binge eat something horrible, you're like, or
Coke Zero.
I'm gonna go have a sweet treat.
Bite, right?
Yeah,
Coke has the
which is why people, me personally, love. But yeah, I think I would agree. Dr. Pepper, is
CP0.
It's king.
Let's go.
It really is. Mountain Dew is embarrassing.
100%.
It's hard to watch.
It is
hard to watch.
Because it was made with sugar in mind. It can't be unsugared.
Yeah,
you cannot de-sugar this. What are we doing?
I did just see sugar-free Reese's, and now I'm very scared to try it. I'm like, you can't let me have that.
Challenging, man.
You can't let me have that.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
When I was coaching nutrition, we called that sex with your pants on. It's like, just have a cookie and get over it. Like, you'll be fine.
I don't know.
Because I would have people like on nutrition plans, they would be like, well, what if I get like sugar-free? And I'd be like, how many do you want to have? And they're like, well, I'm gonna eat a whole bag.
A whole bag. Yeah. No.
Okay. Then just have one real one, and then you'll feel better. And then we'll move on. You gotta have that balance, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pound a whole bag of them, but it is kind of That's how I feel.
But also,
sugar-free soda is like I get the best of both worlds. I'm only gonna have one. I'm not gonna drink like 5 of them. But
soda does it better.
When I have one, golly,
why are we saying soda too? We're from the pop.
I like both, but I did.
It's
pop. It's pop. It's pop.
A soda pop. Soda pop. Shabop. All right. I think that's it for tonight. Unless you got another one.
I do have one. What is one kayak that you would never buy?
Did you type it in here? Because
it's got to be a fishing kayak. It's got to be like a popular fishing kayak.
They make one, and it's not popular, and I would never buy it. What? So
it can't be like garbage. It's got to be a good kayak.
Okay, now you're being rude to Sun Dolphin owners. I was nice. I don't know what you're doing. All right, so I don't know what's yours, and then I'll think.
Mine would be that one that Ethan got, the Wilderness Systems.
Which one did he get? Did he get
the radar? I think it was.
Arga? Oh, the radar. Yeah,
that pedal drive system is
list.
Weird.
No. Yeah, I would never buy that. And then also, thanks to talking to some of the buddies that we talked to, like RAR, I would probably never buy a Vibe pedal.
Yeah, Vibe I would not buy either.
Maybe
I have zero interest. I would take the Vibe over the radar though. That pedal system, I can't get behind it. Yeah. It coming straight up like that is so weird.
That's a good one. I would never buy the e-pedal ever. Not a chance.
I would take the PDL over both of those for sure.
Money no option, still wouldn't buy it. Did you test drive it? Did you test drive the e-pedal?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Yeah. I didn't love it.
No.
Like I wanted the motor to engage.
It's the wrong platform. They put it on the wrong. They had no business.
I also hate that platform.
Yeah, it's not. That's the big water.
That's why I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah,
I fished out of the big water. I would never buy the big water again.
It's 3 or 4 gigantic mistakes into that kayak. That's the biggest flop. I hate to say it because I like Old Town a lot, but it's the biggest flop I think I've seen.
Yeah.
Yet.
The e-pedal was bad. The Fire Tiger autopilot. I mean, I'd rock it because it's an autopilot.
It's still a sick boat. But no, I don't want that. That was weird too. You know what? And I like all the guys on that team that we met. And I like Old Town in general. I just wish they would fix the 5 things they need to fix, 10 things, and then just keep doing what they're doing. You don't need to.
The people we met are at different companies now. Howie, it's a Newport. Yeah,
no, I'm talking about.
Oh, Howie was Hobie. Sorry.
No, I'm talking about Old Town. Yeah, Old Town. If they just fixed the 4 or 5 things that need fixing with the Sportsman lineup, it would be a phenomenal boat. But that's
the Fire Tiger is just wrong.
It's weird. It's just weird.
So weird.
Do you in my opinion, it's fine to add colors to the lineup, but did you think that was going to sell a whole bunch of them?
It's the same thing Hobie did with the Ike edition.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, what, do you think the Ike edition was going to sell a whole bunch of those boats? Did you think that many people were standing in line, but didn't want to pull the trigger, but this is going to tip them over? What was the thought process?
Yeah. Nope.
Very weird.
We saved somebody. Let's go. Alan made a good choice.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you did. Now if you said I was going to buy the Sportsman, the 120 or something, I'd be like, you're missing out on the pedals.
The Go Boat. The Go Boat is the #1. Would never buy
The Knee Chopper 6000. Is that a kayak?
years.
Is that a kayak?
I mean, if we're talking like rigid,
It's not
plastic
paddleable. It's not paddleable.
kayak, no, you paddle, sir. Can you imagine?
You can't.
Woo!
You can't paddle it.
That thing is such garbage.
That was psychotic, and they keep making
man.
videos of it. Like people that are
Who
like,
does?
and
Are they still
them.
here?
They were still making videos of it. They're like, there's somebody that was like making videos for them, and then like their actual fishing vessels. And then I remember there's a whole bunch of people who are getting into fights with us. They're like, no, this is exactly what somebody needs. I'm like, you need to have your foot cut off. You can do that.
Was it Go? It's like BOAT, right? Yeah, the Go Boat. It's called the Go Boat.
I thought it was made by Boat, BOTE, the
Bro.
company, because they had the exact same design, like pattern.
I think it was like a split, like somebody split off from Boat, BOTE.
How did they get away with that?
I don't know, man. Because it's not BOTE and nobody has time to deal with this crap. Yeah, they are still pushing posts on this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, no, hang on. They've made 3 posts this year and 2 in February, and then the next one was Black Friday.
Not a good sign.
February. Oh, you guys, we forgot about social media.
Back.
We're back. Black Friday.
That's not a good sign. It really isn't.
Oh God.
Oh Lord. All right, you guys. Well, we went through and we rated a whole heck ton of kayaks. Thanks for sticking with us. We do need to get a lot of these ratings done, so we're going to try and fill in some blanks here. It's going to take us some time, so bear with us. But thank you for sticking with us today. Appreciate all the push voting. It really did help us out. And yeah, we hope to have some more of these for you in full-length video format. Even faster. It'll be a lot of fun. Well, like Jeff said, we'll have some clips.
We'll change it up
of us using in there. It'll be a lot. It'll be fun videos, but they'll live on in perpetuity. So again, thanks for sticking with us. And yeah, members only Tuesday, December 10th, next Tuesday. Should be a lot of fun. We got a lot to go through.
All right, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you next week. Members, we'll see you on Tuesday. Everybody else, we'll see you on Wednesday. Chaz, take us out. See